I have nothing but LaCroix in my system, so like
Yeah.
Why don't you just shoot one of those fireballs?
So yeah, Sam actually said he wasn't going to drink today, but I give that about 25 minutes before he
planning on
breaks.
jogging around the Rose Bowl after this, and if y'all ruin that with that fireball, I'll be pretty upset.
That doesn't. I thought you were going to name an activity that wouldn't be more awesome with a light buzz, but I think that would be better.
Oh, that might be nice. Give me a fucking fireball. Give me a shot of a fireball.
You know what's funny is usually we work our way.
My God.
No, I wasn't going to have a lightly alcoholic seltzer, but I will take a pocket shot of fire.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Sam either goes all the way or not at all, you know?
Yeah.
That's kind of how I am, too.
Yeah.
But I like how you didn't even
It's called
try at all.
alcoholism.
Yeah.
Lately, it's just been all the way every day of my life, but one of these days it is going to be not at all. You know what I mean? It might be here
It's
in a
going to be
little
court ordered, not at all.
bit. Yeah, exactly. I just got to get some kids so I can neglect them in some way, and then I'll stop drinking.
I feel like you'd look good with an ankle monitor.
Yeah. I can make it fashion.
Yeah, it'd be trendy.
You could probably pull it off. I had a friend that I have a bit about this, but I'm not going to go into the bit. But I have a friend who had court order to wear an ankle monitor that could read his blood alcohol level through his leg sweat.
Through his leg sweat?
Yeah, that's how they do
That's
it.
a real thing.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he had 4 DUIs. So, like, if he drank, it would actually, like, send data to a satellite.
Your friend's a piece of shit, man.
Yeah, dude, that's total. Well, the funniest thing about it is, like, the thing has a thermometer on it, so people will try to cheat it by, like, pulling their sock under it so it can't read.
Nice.
Oh.
But the thermometer knows it's not body
That's not
temperature.
flash.
Right.
And it's not, like, a conductive material, so it like, goes off.
Yeah.
I read somewhere that someone had one like that and they put deli meat. in
Yeah,
there.
that was you probably heard that from my shitty bit. Yeah, he would warm up lunch meat on his gooch and then slide it under the monitor.
I used to do that for other reasons. But,
That's just how you make a hot pastrami.
Warm sandwich.
yeah. That's what I meant.
At Subway, they'd be like, "Do you want it toasted or not toasted?" Yeah. And
Oh,
you
I
just
think-
slap it on his leg.
It's real moist.
Yeah.
I like how Mike suddenly implied he's like, "That's not why I was doing that. I was fucking the meat."
Yeah, I was fucking the meat,
You can't fuck
obviously.
a cold cut. You gotta warm it up first.
I did a drug test one time at a construction job. I had a construction job, and to do work.
They were
at
like, we
this
just wanted to
hospital,
make sure that you
that
were
you're
on
a piece of
drugs.
shit. You're not on meth. We need you sharp. We need you sharp on this. But I had to do a drug test, and so I used my friend's urine, and the guy said like, well, this urine is 50 degrees, so either this is not yours or you're dead. And I was like, could it be that I'm dead? Who knows?
You know, I'm not feeling too hot. I come to think of it.
Doc, I'm actually kind of cold. I don't know. Yeah. And so I didn't get to work construction that day.
Oh,
what the
bummer.
fuck?
Wait, that was just a day by day thing.
That was
Not a-
that was one job we had. Was like, we
Day
want to
play
clean
as a
ship.
construction worker.
Yeah, at Vanderbilt Hospital, you're not allowed to be a drug addict and do construction, which is
They picked you up outside of a
Yeah.
Home Depot and they're like, "Can you piss in this cup for me?" I'm gonna
That project's still not done. They can't find anybody.
do one dork at a time. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, imagine a hospital built by sober men. It probably wouldn't be any good.
No, they're terrible.
Yeah.
You need meth.
Am I the only one here who wants a hospital built by sober people? Like,
Nerd, we found the nerd. Nerd.
like a lot of things I'll be cool about, but
Yeah.
you know, the hospital, I don't know.
They build it, it's like tilted. It's like, oh, that's
Yeah.
design and intention. You're walking in the hall, it's like turning sideways.
All the IV drips are just rolling across the room.
All right, well, should we introduce you guys?
Yeah.
Or should we just keep talking and help
This
people
is,
just know who you
yeah,
are?
let's-
Just put it in the title of the
People
episode.
already fucking know.
Are you kidding me?
You got the kind of big boys on the podcast.
Yeah.
My name rings bells in this town. All right?
Rings bells.
You usually introduce.
That's hilarious.
You might know, you might not.
You have a
It'll
bell.
ring a bell. You won't be able to place them, but you'll be like,
his face at open mic.
Like, I think I've seen that guy bomb at 4 p.m. at Hollywood Comedy. Yeah, I don't know. I might know him. Do you guys usually introduce your guests, or do you have the guests introduce themselves?
we usually forget until about an hour in.
Yeah, about an hour in.
But
Yeah.
then I would like you to introduce us, because I just want to hear what you think of me.
Yeah. Well, hailing from the Kind of Big podcast, this man has a podcast named after his mother's knee-jerk reaction to his penis.
My mother and brother actually stewed on that. They were like, "How would you describe Sam's penis?" And apparently they landed on kind of big.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kind of big. Okay.
Just for a landers though.
Which in the outskirts of Nashville is like 5.7 inches hard.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Yeah, that's enormous. 5
Yeah, they put a kinda in there, Brian. It's not
Kinda in there.
I want it to be enjoyable for the woman. You know, I don't want to hurt the poor girl.
Yeah.
And then we have the lovely Michael
would be too
Powers here
aggressive.
to
Yes.
Sam's left. Rounding out this couch, this quartet.
nothing noteworthy about my penis.
Wearing
Sounds
wearing
good. You know? You don't want some girl like calling up someone the next day. It's like, I got to tell you something about it.
Yeah, I have a very unremarkable. Just like it was good. It was fine.
Michael's mother didn't love him enough to tell him his opinion on his cock. It takes the loving, you know.
She
Yeah.
never saw me nude.
Yeah, we can always send her a picture. You know, be like, what are your thoughts?
Also,
What are your
Mike,
thoughts?
great hue. It's kind of a play on the red. I don't know if you saw the wall first, but your shirt.
The shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the hue.
This is
Thank you.
actually. I don't know if of what of his skin.
Nailed it.
Obviously, no, you just whipped out great hue. What's up, brother? Great hue. Great hue on you.
Great Anglo-Saxon
Yeah,
mid-January hue. on
No
your
one's ever
skin.
complimented my skin color, so I didn't think that was what you meant. No.
Great hue on this
I'm
guy.
going to say something very mean that I know he takes offense to, but I think it's one of my better burns.
Yeah.
Kind of has the hue of George R. Binks. Do you feel it? A little bit? Yeah.
Yeah. That.
You kind of bombed, and it was mean. I'm sorry
A
about that.
boiled hot
Yeah.
dog.
Great
baby.
joke, Sam.
Dude, calling
Everybody
a
loved that.
ginger Jar Jar Binks arms, it'll destroy them if they've seen the film.
You guys have like a similar skin tone.
No. I'm a mocha.
You're a mocha?
I'm like a hot latte over
Like
here.
you
Are you
guys,
kidding me?
you guys could be brothers, and you just went outside a few more times than him.
I got
Yeah.
a pigment. No, I'm acting like obviously I'm a pale white person, but I'm just not, like floss. I'm not like see-through like Michael.
Sorry, I didn't work construction. I don't know what you like.
Well, apparently Sam didn't either.
Well, Michael did too many
much of a
drugs.
drug. I had
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in the house being cool on heroin.
That's kind of crazy. I can't imagine being told I can't do drugs at a construction job.
Yeah,
It's
it was
like,
really dumb.
yeah.
What are we doing here?
Yeah,
Like,
what's-
what?
Why am I working outside for 8 hours then?
I used to work with this contractor, and his son was a heroin addict, and he would smoke heroin in the Andy Gump, like on his lunch break.
The
He would
porta potty?
sneak off to the Andy Gump and smoke black
Funny that
heroin.
you call it
in
an
there.
Andy Gump.
Yeah.
Oh, a
porta
porta potty.
Yeah.
I'm always surprised that that's not a more commonly known.
I don't.
Well,
really,
isn't that like a
keep
local
up with the
brand here?
I didn't think it was local. I
Andy
thought that was
Gump.
like Kleenex.
I think he's like the king of Los Angeles porta potties.
Yeah.
Andy
But-
Gump is like the Coke of porta potties.
Yeah, it's
you
like the
know?
Coca-Cola.
And then who would be the Pepsi?
Oh.
Wait,
I thought you meant
they're
cocaine.
national.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
No, I think they're national. I've seen them in Florida.
I worked construction on and off for a while, so I
Yeah.
just came to. That's what everyone called it.
Porta potties is a funny business to like expand because they had to be in like a local market and then be like, you know what, people poop everywhere. Like people, there are people all over this country that need a place to use the bathroom,
Yeah.
and there isn't one
Yeah.
at the moment.
And it's funny because at night they put like giant padlocks on them.
Yeah.
So that people,
Yeah.
Yeah.
as if like,
Don't
what are you
go in
gonna
there.
come burglarize fucking wet dookie out of an Andy Gump? Like, what are people?
I
gonna do?
on
I'd love to.
on Halloween in our neighborhood, like we went out to see the trick or treating and everything. I was just scouting, but
These are reconnaissance missions for next year. Where to
but
place the traps.
but I saw like a house that was having work done had a porta potty out in front of it, and like some kid in their costume like needed to use it, and then some white lady came out and was just like very upset that they were using their porta potty,
Really?
and like
Day laborers shitting here. But
yeah, she was like, John, get the padlock. And, I was just like, really? Who cares?
Right.
Obviously, let a child pee in your thing so they can enjoy their Halloween.
That's so crazy.
Yeah. Only rural Guatemalan men who've been eating at the Roach Coach all week can poop in here. All right.
The roach coach? Is that what you said?
Yeah, that's what they call that little truck that comes to construction sites and feeds you.
the food truck.
I'm realizing none of this is like common.
Yeah, we don't
knowledge,
know a lot
I guess.
about, I guess, working.
Yeah, do you
Yeah,
have
it's
You
any?
a Mexican day labor?
Yeah, I was for a while.
Do you have anything about like office jobs or like things that require a 4-year
Is this
degree?
your first time inside?
Yeah, it's been a while. But yeah, that's the little thing. Like they go around to the job sites and they park out front and they have the same little tune on their horn. It's like the Ice Cream Man, but a little more sad and ethnic. It goes like.
Okay,
I'm
yeah.
familiar with the tune.
Yeah, so that's the tune
the
that plays,
road,
and then everyone on the job site just empties out, and they make They make you food that will give you violent diarrhea.
They give you a dirt bag. You ever had a dirt bag before?
No, what is that?
It's Fritos with a bunch of chili and shit in it. And
Oh, it's like
I've heard of that.
I heard they called it. Grayson told me they call those walking tacos in Iowa.
walking tacos. We call them dirt bags, Ron.
That's probably a better name.
Because of the pieces of shit who eat them.
My friend told me
Jesus.
he was at a bar the other day and there was a drink special called the Low Life. And it was a Miller High Life and a shot of like well bourbon for $6.
It's just what Sam would order.
Well, it's fucked up that they call it like you have to say that out loud to the bartender.
Yeah.
A bag of shit, please. I will take the sexual assault. Toss back a couple of sexual assaults.
And a round of angel shots for those ladies over there. Do you know what an angel shot is?
I get embarrassed.
What is an angel shot?
You guys don't know. It's basically if you go to like a women's restroom, there'll be a sign that's like, if a man is like bothering you and you're afraid to walk to your car, go to the bar and order an angel shot, and basically someone will walk you out to your car.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so
Just me.
funny.
Yeah.
I got him up.
Okay, I thought you were just playing off of the idea of like ordering based on what you are, kind of.
No.
But that's so much funnier to,
Yeah.
as a man, say, and those girls are going to need an angel shot.
They have a few more sexual assaults.
Pre-order those for them.
Yeah.
Just loudly threaten them with sexual assault.
Give me the low life, and they're about to get uncomfortable. Okay?
I guess they wouldn't have like a sign for that in the men's room because I would give it away.
Yeah, but thanks for letting us know.
Yeah, you're welcome.
That's what two low lives, and you're gonna need a burly man to stop me from stalking them through that parking garage.
I need to be scary because I'm a brave guy. Okay.
You better have a taser because I cannot feel pain right now.
Chain myself to the radiator, dude. Yeah.
I get embarrassed to order like when I go to a restaurant and the healthy options have really girly names. I
Yeah.
get too self-conscious to order them in
Yeah.
front of guy friends.
Have you been to Cafe Gratitude?
Yes.
Cafe
Yeah, is that the one
Gratitude
where-
is
yeah,
rough,
Yeah,
man.
those names
Yeah.
are crazy.
I will have the I am beautiful bowl with a side of
I try to come up with little like manly like shorthand for them in the moment. Like I'll just pick like one signature word off the item and be like, you know what the fuck I mean. I'm not saying that out loud. Yeah, I'm that self-conscious. I'm like a 14-year-old boy when it comes
You
to
need
that
to go to
stuff.
the Cafe Gratitude, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do. Well, it's like Gracias Madres like that too. Isn't
Yeah.
it? You have to when you're ordering a dish. Each dish is named after like a virtue or a state of mind, and you don't say "I'd like this." You're supposed to say "I'm feeling" and then the name of the dish.
Oh.
Like I'm feeling grateful.
I hate that.
Means like
Jesus
I'll take
Christ.
that.
I gotta have rules
Don't
to
tell me
ask
how
for
I
something.
feel.
Yeah.
That's absurd.
Yeah, that's
I'm feeling
horrible.
angry about this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How does that sound?
I feel angry. I have to order this way.
I'd like
So
it. I
we
think
don't
that's
have
fun.
that.
I feel want to be like if they're degrading. Like, do you mean like, give me, I don't know.
That's specific to you, I think.
Yeah.
I'll have the filthy piggy meal, please. Please. You have to order it underneath.
You have to
Oh my
roll in
God.
like a mud pit after you order.
Yeah.
Wow, that was an eerily good swine
That
impression.
actually was
Where did
good.
you learn that?
Sam likes to whip that out.
Yeah.
I feel like at some point in your life, someone has removed a ball gag from your mouth during sex and made you make that noise on command.
They didn't make me make the noise. It's just if you remove the gall gag, that's the noise that comes out.
That's why they put the ball gag there in the first place. They were like,
Oh,
Jesus,
stop it.
dude.
Yeah.
You can't stay hard with that.
No, that has never happened. I've never had a ball gag yet.
Your
Really?
mouth?
So suck it. Yeah.
Never?
Yeah. I've done kinky things, but
So you didn't use my Christmas gift?
that's not a lie.
Actually, that's not a ball gag. It's a sissy mouth gag.
He
Whatever.
bought a device that is used to pry my mouth open and keep it that way.
You never shut that
I mean,
thing in
it
the
already
first
pretty
place.
much is, you know?
And you haven't used it yet?
No, because again, like
Has he
you
been
don't-
out of town or something?
Dude. Man, you put so much thought into a gift for someone, and then they
Yeah.
just fucking
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
still have it.
bury it in their closet.
I do. But you don't
What's-
need
what's it gonna
a
take?
device to keep my mouth pried wide open. Do you know what I mean?
For
It's-
cock?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not even gay.
Yeah, but, you know.
I've done this to myself. It's my fault.
So how does is it like a clock? It's like a crank. You place it in.
I think it has multiple settings. I think you get to choose what's like comfortable for your level of discomfort.
Okay.
And then
Does it allow
yeah.
room for like a phallus to go in there?
Certainly,
Or-
that's-
Oh yeah, that's the point.
Oh, that's the point.
Intended use of
Yeah.
the device.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay. What's
Yeah.
it called? Does it have like a
It's a sissy mouth gag.
Oh,
Sissy, something sissy.
Beastmet wants the link.
Yeah.
Drop the link. All right, we'll put it in the show notes.
Yeah.
So you're still going by B Smite? Sorry to change the topic.
Smite. No.
Brian Smite,
Yeah.
not Brian Eddie Davis.
No,
I remember
that
you.
lasted for about 3 weeks.
That was the strangest thing. From far away, I was like, boy, I hope he ends that.
I loved that.
Here comes local jazz legend.
I thought that was the best of your dumb stage names.
Yeah. That was better than Beast, right? Yeah, I think it only took a few times of like, because I kind of committed to this in like people in person before I tried it out. And then I remember the first time I heard
To
someone
Brian
call,
Eddie Davis?
Yeah, I like
Okay.
told all my friends like I'm gonna do this, and I kind of was like, I stated my case, and I had all these like deep
Yeah.
familial and personal reasons for it. And then I remember the first time I heard a host call me up to the stage as that, and I was like, ooh, that's fucking embarrassing.
Hey, what's up, you cool cats?
You know what's funny? It would actually work really well if you were already like playing theaters.
Right.
Like if you were already a big act, it would work really well. But when you're like,
3 names.
yeah, when you're just going up at a bar
Yeah.
show in Pasadena, it's like,
And I gotta tell the 3 o'clock THC host, like, hey,
yeah.
I'm going by a different name.
People are gonna be asking.
Yeah. Just for your boomerang of me bombing. Make sure you tag me right.
Oh man.
Still going by Sam Landers?
Still going by Sam Landers. I think about mixing it up sometime. I don't know. Milk Quake is something I've thought about. Yeah,
That is good.
Just go up there and just.
Did you steal
shake
that?
my ass? No, that is
That's
Milk
Earthquake is a famous black
Yeah.
comedian,
Right.
and then
I'm a famous white comedian named Milk Quake. That's not even where I came up with it. I'm not even clever. I'm just referencing.
that wouldn't be clever. So, but yeah.
Have you ever been to Crystal before, the fast food restaurant?
I've heard of it.
No.
It's in the South, and their milkshake option is called a Milk Quake, and I thought that was hilarious.
Oh,
Mm.
that is good. We have the same middle name.
Edward,
Yeah.
it's cool.
It's pretty embarrassing.
Maybe you could be like Sam Eddie Landy for a while.
That would be sick.
Yeah, to copy his stage name.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sam Eddie Landy.
I feel like I'm gonna have to learn how to play the trumpet.
Yeah.
I can't just go up there and tell jokes about my butt.
No, you have to make like a collection of fedoras and
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Madison, what's your middle name?
Kimberly. It's my mom's
Damn it,
name.
not William.
No.
Fuck.
Yeah, there is a toss up between William and Kim. So,
Yeah.
I want to have, if I have a daughter, just give her a man middle name because
Yeah.
it'd be really funny to do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to just ruin her.
You should go by Kimbo. Kimbo Slice.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Kimbo Slice.
He
Yeah.
died like 11 years ago.
Really?
R.I.P. to the king.
Oh man, I'm sorry, guys. Can we like
Pour one
stop
out?
and pick up later? I need to process
I need
this.
to go outside and let that sink in.
I legitimately loved Kimbo Slice.
He had a massive heart attack.
No surprise.
Why do people always say a massive heart attack?
I don't know. I guess it has to be massive to take out a man like that. You know?
Right? I just think that's a weird phrase.
Yeah,
don't know.
I guess
I feel like isn't a heart attack kind of like a binary thing? Like you're either getting blood.
I think you can survive them.
you can have small heart
You
attacks.
can have a minor heart
Can you imagine,
attack.
like,
Heart attacks are really cute, actually, and tiny. They're adorable. I would love to have just a little cute heart attack.
it's like, oh, how do you die? It's like a small heart attack. It's like a
Pussy?
pussy. Yeah. The doctor comes in and goes, I didn't want to save him because, like,
Yeah.
he was
If you
taking out
can't
my
get through
big
that
back
without medical intervention,
Common cold.
I can't
Yeah.
hold your hand the whole time.
You kind of like we're thinning the herd here, thank God, because that guy did not deserve to live.
Sam had a small one just the other week before his set at the Mix in Pasadena.
Oh,
He
how was
really
that?
nervous for it.
Yeah, I'm really nervous right now. I get very nervous before any time I do anything.
Really?
Yeah, like I'm the THC just going, fuck, I'm gonna fucking bomb. Here we go. Like, I'm not, like truly, I get really nervous. Hopefully one day I'll get over it. But who knows?
I want to know, what did you get Michael for Christmas in return for his lovely
I
gift?
didn't really get him anything.
You didn't care? You know?
Yeah, I'm a
Okay.
really bad gift giver. I think you gave him like a $20 bill.
when you tried to pay me back for something, that was what you did.
He wasn't
no.
even going to get you that, but he realized they had cash back at Arby's, and he was on the way over. So he
No,
just-
this was actually 2 Christmases ago that I got you the mouth gag, and then you did get me a nice fedora.
Yeah, I didn't do that. Kyle did it, and I paid him back.
Oh, okay.
Just-
No.
I've been stealing that valor for about a year, but I didn't have a word.
Isn't it embarrassing when people around you know that you're not responsible or thoughtful enough to get a gift? So they
Yes.
like when
Yeah.
your parents or like your girlfriend or someone
Yes.
would buy a gift and just put your name on it. Like I took care of that for you.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, it's funny. It also is like Christmas is the only the producer of our podcast is desperate for us to produce the podcast. Like he wants to have segments and he wants to have stuff kind of ready to go. And so Christmas is kind of the only time that we let him go loose and like really, decorate. And he's like, a month ahead of time, like, what should we do gift wise? So like, let's have some fun gifts to unveil.
We give him that freedom, and then he kind of produces something pretty underwhelming and lame. So.
I think our Christmas
I love the way you
episodes
guys
rock.
just hate on your producer all the time.
Huh? Yeah, it is fun. It is fun.
He's
it's
an
tough.
easy-
It'd be a fun dynamic because you have a young female producer. It's tough to like be mean. To
Yeah.
you. I'm not going to be mean to you.
I feel like we'll find a way though eventually.
Oh yeah, give
Well,
him a few minutes.
She's not bald and stupid. So
Yeah,
that,
we have like a bald,
you know.
silly looking producer. It's fun to make fun of.
I still never seen him. He wasn't there when I.
Oh yeah, he was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You mentioned that when you
One of the like
you were
2
actu-
episodes.
You were one of the people that told me that having the producer in the room
Gotta have the producer.
really helps.
Yeah, or else you're filming a conversation.
Yeah.
And I know that's literally what we're still doing, but at least there's an audience to play to. Right? Like
Yeah.
it's just you feel pretty stupid.
We did one episode where Kyle couldn't be there and it was just the 2 of us. And it was the most yeah, you don't remember that?
I probably blocked it out.
It was the most uncomfortable. I mean, it was just so like, you're sitting you're just very aware that you're sitting in a room like,
How self-important am I?
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like how much do I think of myself that I'm just like,
Right.
what'd you do this week? You're just like, what the fuck is wrong with
People want to know.
Yeah.
me? I don't know how many
Yeah.
times I jacked off today. They desperately want to know that.
What are you, what are you, what are you at right
in
now?
4K and speaking of microphones.
Yeah. What are you at today?
Today's day one. Sorry.
Day one of what?
He has asked me how many times I masturbated today, and I did jack off one time.
Before
You
this.
came over here at noon.
You had to feed the geese before hanging out in this hot garage.
Honestly, I'm surprised you only had 1 at noon. That's kinda,
You'll need me sharp. I set an alarm to do it.
Yeah.
Have you ever jacked off at work, like in the stall, like on your lunch?
yes.
Oh.
Oh.
Your
We're
work
not
actually has a
admitting
good
to
setup
that?
for that.
Yes. What'd you say?
You have like a solo bathroom at your work.
Yeah,
so-
we have the masturbation.
Oh, you work in food service. That's grosser.
Yeah.
I know. God damn.
Yeah. But if I come in like insanely hungover with like hungover anxiety brain, it's like I gotta do something here. There's been 2 times I've done that.
I can imagine being hungover at work and being like, what would make this better? The shame of beating off in the bathroom.
It's a momentary solace. You understand? That goes away pretty quickly when done.
Then you're in the back just like stealing a tater tot out of someone's order with your bare hands right afterwards.
I wash.
Yeah.
So,
Wash.
I keep a very clean penis.
Oh. I'm sure that's
a
a relief
clean
for
dick.
everyone that eats at your restaurant.
You've jerked it at work, I'm sure. Yeah, that's why you asked.
I actually have not done that.
Not at your new job. You've jerked it at work.
I don't think I
You gonna leave us in the lurch like this?
I've
He
thought
has.
about it.
Yeah, never?
Mike looks like he's got something on the tip of his tongue. He's thinking of something.
Oh, actually, what I'm thinking of right now is just how this feels like a pretty distinctly masculine experience.
Yeah.
Like
this
Madison,
podcast.
are you
Yes.
jerking off in weird in
No,
places you shouldn't be?
It's never even occurred to me to be at work and be like, oh, you know what would make this better?
Really?
No,
Yeah.
I go on my phone in the bathroom forever, but that's it.
That's not that naughty at all.
Yeah, that's
really
step 1.
No, my
Particularly jiggly pair on your explore page. You're like, why not? Let's do this.
yeah. I had a friend at work tell me this, like it was relatable, and I had never thought of this. He's like, he's from Virginia, and he says sometimes when he's on a long drive on like a backcountry road, just driving all alone, he'll just beat off at the wheel. And just kind of like stare wistfully out the window
Yeah.
at the pines. Just beating his cock.
Okay, that part's weird.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
pines
Maybe he's in a
is
tree
where-
or something.
Beating it to
Yeah.
a lovely day.
Yeah.
Staring at the sunset. Oh my god.
Just cracking the window, getting some fresh air. Like, man, God does good work.
There's something about operating heavy machinery that just I feel like is kind of a boner killer. Like when I'm at the wheel of a car, I don't feel if someone else were doing it to me, that's obviously a classic move. But just being alone in a car driving, I feel
That's
like
less. You're more able to focus. Like if you're getting roadhead
Well, no, I'm
than
saying
if you're.
someone else would need to inspire me sexually to want to be. While I'm driving,
me
I'm
being like,
never
"You can
like,
do it,
I
man.
need to come. I'm never driving, and I'm like, I need to. Even if I got horny while driving, it would never occur to me to just beat my dick while driving alone.
Well, there were
Really?
great men and there were others.
I was gonna say, man, that's like maybe you just kind of lack a certain like creativity in
If you
your.
beat your dick behind the wheel,
Oh yeah.
really?
Yeah.
like on the way over.
Is this a common thing? I thought it was bizarre.
Mike
to just-
Birbiglia has a joke about that.
just jack
That's
it off
like
alone in the car.
that's his like like case in point that like men are hornier than women. He's like,
Why also?
I had a friend who used to do it in traffic. She did. Like,
A
she would,
lady?
yeah, she would move her seat back, and I was really impressed by that. I was like, I can never. I'm too angry when I'm in traffic.
Yeah.
You do this in LA.
why'd she have to move her seat back?
She needed to like stretch her legs out and like I guess get the position.
Oh,
It's harder. I
Such an
mean,
enormous
even
whips that are huge.
like
space.
even when women are jerking off of like driving, they have to be very specific about.
yeah.
I know a girl who beat off.
I think it beating off with a woman is really funny.
She has an enormous penis. No, but she masturbated to her vagina in Video Village on a job.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah.
All
Really?
alone in Video Village?
She was just like my hand was right there, and I
Did
beat
she
her.
like the lead or something?
I don't
Was
know.
he
I didn't
thick?
inquire further because I had a crush on her, and that hurt my feelings. So I was just like, okay, whore. Are you thinking about me? I doubt it.
Oh god.
Beating off to some ungraded log footage in Video Village. That was a nerd joke. Sorry. I like how ginger it is when a woman masturbates. She's just like gently circling like one of her
Oh, I thought you
fingers.
meant how redheaded it is.
What a ginger ass move, dude. Beating off is such a redheaded activity. Yeah.
Well, I mean, we are kind of representing that right now. We're just the two redheads are like, oh,
Are
sorry.
you got a little. You got some red in the beard, Sam?
Yeah, I'm ruddy. You know what I mean, like King David in the Bible. There's redness in there. I took offense to it as a young boy, but there is certainly. And the more ethnic the person, the more red my hair is. In their opinion, I've noticed.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the eyes of a Latino man, I am a full ginger. They're like,
Oh.
yeah.
Really?
Isn't that interesting?
That's
You
true.
like-
Nobody even called me ginger until I got to Los Angeles.
Really?
Oh yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
I don't think of you as a redhead, really.
Yeah.
Either of you, really.
On the
But I'm white,
spectrum
so.
of things, like
Yeah.
it gets so much more ginger than.
Yeah. Do you,
Yeah,
you don't
no.
really have freckles? Do you have blue eyes?
I have freckles. I have light eyes.
You're not really like covered in freckles like I picture ginger.
You should see my shoulders.
Me so covered.
No one's on board with your Jar Jar arms.
2002.
Yeah, well, it's still relevant. Okay, people love people.
Comes
love
up all the time on our podcast.
Guys, I do have to pee one more time, and I am so sorry. I'm going to stop drinking LaCroix. I'm going to have
Step
to
out.
pee.
We'd be happy to talk about you.
How many minutes are we in that he's already?
I know. Careful of that light, Sam, when you open that door.
I was in a film class one time and I watched this guy and he had a sandwich and he painstakingly took the mayonnaise and just went line by line and then he went the other way, made like a checkerboard. It took him like 5 minutes. And then he like, put the sandwich top back. I wasn't even paying attention to the professor. We both just stopped and watched him. And then he opened the other side of the sandwich and did it again and then closed it. But it's like every line was perfectly
Hold on.
This
symmetrical.
was in class?
Yeah, but he was gonna eat the sandwich. Like it's not.
So that sandwich-
cracked it.
Did
For
that
I couldn't get over
that
it.
sandwich probably tasted like autism.
Yeah.
It's the main ingredient.
So one thing we want to try and do with this podcast, maybe if we have some kind of angle, is figure out what drives people to do this with their life. Kind of. I want to know.
Oh
about,
wait, is this a serious podcast?
I want to know about your childhood. I want
Oh,
to know
shit.
about. I want to know about your childhood.
I feel like we've been doing this wrong.
I want to know about your childhood. What was your childhood like, Mike?
Me?
Yeah.
Pretty broad question. No, I mean, is that where do you want me to pick up?
Well, I think it's more of like what made you get into stand up initially, maybe like
I think I know the answer to this, but I mean, I think basically just I grew up super religious, very like I grew up in a church that's very strict. It's like the Footloose people, you know, that town that he lives in. Like dancing was not allowed in my church, and so like
dance?
yeah, you couldn't dance, you couldn't drink. The like really hardcore, like the older people, like didn't believe in going to the movie theater. They didn't believe in wearing shorts, like men wearing shorts. Just a bunch of stuff
Well,
like
the
that.
dance thing is funny. I think it's funny when there's a relic of some culture that might just come from like like Castilian Spanish, how they speak with a lisp.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like some tale that there was like a ruler that had a lisp, and he was really self-conscious about it.
Uh-huh.
But he was like tyrannical, so he made everyone talk like that, so that he could feel better about his own lisp. That's what the dancing thing feels like to me. There was just
somebody
like
who's bad at dancing.
People just don't have rhythm, and they're like, let's just
Yeah.
forbid people.
That was my mom. My mom would always make that joke. She was always like, Nazarenes aren't allowed to dance for the benefit of others. Like
right,
that's
right.
no, but
Tell them the
movie theater story.
Sigourney Weaver.
Oh yeah, when I was a kid, we went to see Galaxy Quest. And my mom made us leave the theater 10 minutes into the movie because they showed cleavage on Sigourney Weaver.
48-year-old cleavage.
And my mom was like, "This is way too spicy."
Sigourney Weaver is not a chesty woman.
This is impure.
She's like 6'2" and she weighs like 120 pounds.
In that movie, they do like try to show off her
She's like
tits
a
in the
gangly
opening.
Viking woman though. That's not.
There is a thing for some reason she's in space movies, and in the space movies you see the top half of her breast in every single one.
You know what
Yeah.
I did notice? I saw the original Alien kind of recently, and I was like, dude, Sig Weaver was kind of hot when she was young.
totally.
She
Yeah.
was-
My mom was
It's a
right too. It
strong
did
job.
give me impure thoughts, and I did sin afterward. But
You can't dance if you get married first, right? In the church, is that how it works? Okay, never mind. She's not dancing.
no
No,
dancing before
no
marriage.
days before marriage.
the
Forever.
weddings I grew up going to were dry, danceless receptions.
Oh my god!
It was just a it was just a
With
buffet.
ham and cheese sandwiches.
Every wedding was just a buffet that you
I'm
just
surprised
like
these people are
hang out
having
and talk.
kids at all. There's
Yeah.
like.
That's
I
all
know,
they're allowed
right?
to do. Like you can.
But yeah, so I just like grew up in that environment, very like very censored and very whatever. And so I think like once I discovered comedy and then tried it out eventually, I think I just liked I just liked saying stuff that you weren't supposed to say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
not
yeah,
being
yeah.
censored.
Like it was
Common thread.
the like freedom of expression.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of the same reason that like they started the United States. So, just
I stand because I believe in freedom.
It's about patriot.
I'm basically like a founding father. To choose his words,
I wasn't trying to make that joke.
What if that was like your stance? Like I'm for abortion, but only if the guy chooses.
I don't believe in women having abortion.
But if the
Your
guy
call.
wants it, sure.
I think and if the guy does it, he has to perform the abortion. It's like in Game of Thrones, like if you call someone's death, you have to chop the head off. Guys, my nerdy references, y'all need to get there with me. Okay,
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
sorry,
sorry.
I haven't seen any of that.
Okay. Started reading it today.
Oh man,
Yeah.
Well, George R.R.
how glad are you that you've started a podcast with me and not somebody who wouldn't appreciate your weird nerdy references?
Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
Sam
yeah.
told me actually one time that he. This isn't that embarrassing. I thought it was kind of cool,
Go
but
ahead.
he told me he has a hobby. He just goes on hikes through the canyons of Altadena and just listens to Lord of the Rings like as a book on tape.
Yeah,
And just kind of. I think he said he started narrating even between when he would pause the thing. He found himself just narrating fantastical lore to himself in kind of a Middle Earth accent.
Yes, I did grow frightened in the hills of Altadena one time because I got very lost and stuck in a river, and that's completely true. And the only way I was able to get through it is to act as if I was herding a group of hobbits through a treacherous situation, and I used Ian McKellen Gandalf voice to do that. And
Out loud?
Out loud, I did say, "No one said the trip wouldn't be treacherous," and I would jump from one rock to another, and I completely did. And I did legitimately fear for my life because have you ever watched those like I Shouldn't Be Alive shows?
Yeah.
I was like, this is what they do. They were like, well, I went off the trail and it was okay, and then I like off the trail for like 3 hours. And I'm like, oh my God, I have no idea where I am, and my cell phone is not working, and I'm at one point fully suspended in water. And yeah, it was.
Yeah.
But you can just see like downtown LA, like 2 miles away.
Yeah.
You're like, this is life and death. There's no way.
Sam's the only 28-year-old man that has gotten into this situation in Pasadena, the wilderness of Pasadena.
Y'all are city folk. Y'all are city Burbank and Larchmont folk. Y'all don't know what we do up there in Altadena.
Yeah, up
Okay.
there in Dana. Yeah,
It's different around there.
you guys are really roughing it out there.
Yeah,
in
we
Altadena,
really
let me
are,
tell
man.
you.
Yeah, I have no sense of direction though, so that would freak me out too.
Yes.
I ran cross country in high school, and I remember one time I was like in first place at some meet, and then I got so lost that I had to I came in like fourth because I got so behind.
Really?
It was like in the forest we were running, and it wasn't marked that well, so I took a wrong turn. And I had to find my way out, and it was embarrassing because everyone else found the trail very easily.
You would smoked them.
You're like, I'm the best runner here.
Yeah,
I'm
but I
just
have no
bad
sense
at
of-
following
yeah.
directions.
I actually ran farther than everyone else. So.
Usually being second to the end and just blow by. Just I'm gonna smoke you at the end. As soon as I know where I'm fucked, I'm going.
As soon as I get a sense of direction, it's over for you guys.
Yeah.
As soon as I figure out what direction the finish line's in.
Yeah. If I bring a compass with me, you guys are fucked.
Just running with it.
I have a miner's hat on. A light.
I have this weird. I don't know why I have this because I'm like a suburban pussy, but weirdly when I hike, I have this weird innate compass where I feel I go off the trail often, and I'll go on these really long hikes, and I just know that I can find my way back, and I
Really?
do.
Yeah.
I don't know where I got that.
You're like a house cat or something.
Yeah, it's a
Just
weird thing. Well, one time
words of
I
a
was
dead
doing
man.
this though, and the night before we drank 2 bottles of bourbon, and I don't know why me and my roommate did this, but he had bought this really hot salsa in an unlabeled mason jar from a weird street merchant, and we had this giant cast iron pot, and we were hammered drunk. And we cracked 14 eggs into this thing. And then we dumped the entire mason jar of salsa. And we were just putting handfuls of shredded jack, the trio, Mexican blend for
Yeah.
white people. We dumped half a bag of that in there and just stirred it up. And we ate the
It sounds
whole
delicious,
skillet
yeah.
between me and him. And the next morning, I was feeling a little rough. I was like, I'm going to go on a long hike. And I made it. I went way off the trail. And I was maybe miles away from the last time I saw a trail, and I started feeling this unmistakable motion in my colon, and I was like, not only am I not going to make it home to shit, I'm not going to make it 4 more steps. I'm pooping immediately.
Yes.
So I just pulled my pants down and I just spattered
You didn't even-
diarrhea all over.
Shotgun blast.
Yeah, and I don't even know why I still had this instinct to hide behind a bush, there probably wasn't another human within 10 miles.
Yes.
But I shat all over the ground, and I had nothing to wipe with.
Didn't even
and
dig
it was
a hole.
shit where I had to wipe it.
Yeah.
My butt cheeks were dripping wet.
Christ, Lord.
And the best thing I could figure out
Leave
to
nothing
do,
but footprints. You know what
Yeah.
they say?
I first of all I took my underwear and I wiped once with it, and I just threw that away.
Well, there you
You littered your shit-laden underwear?
I actually,
That's
you know what's funny? I buried.
What do you
him.
mean that's-
I gave him a Viking funeral because I was like, this is gonna kill a coyote if it smells this. This is gonna kill a family of squirrels. It was radioactive,
You
and then I took a
buried
rock.
your soiled underwear?
Yeah, and even the underwear
Somebody saw you
wasn't
this
enough.
guy is into some weird shit. Yeah, he's from far away,
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
do that by myself.
Some homicide detective is gonna find that someday and be
Yeah,
like, "Where
seriously.
we need an excavation team. There's
Right.
got to be bones around here somewhere."
There's probably some rare breed of mushroom growing out of the patch where I buried that.
Yeah.
And then I used a rock for the rest because it was still gross. So I took
You wiped with a rock.
a rock. I wiped my
Wow.
ass with a rock. And then I just
What, you just use your hand and then
yeah, but
wash it,
no.
right?
Then
my
where's
hands
that
are
gonna
covered
go?
in- Yeah.
What about
I can't-
leaves? There
There were no,
leaves?
dude. It was it's California in the summer, so everything's dead.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
just dry
One of our
chaparral
options
and
Dude,
brush.
you just destroyed a 20 square foot
Yeah.
spot of wilderness.
yeah.
You're just
It was the grossest poop I've probably ever taken in my life.
I've done that exact same
Oh.
thing, but I was able to just use my underwear to fully, I used to find another spot on the underwear.
Yeah,
I've done that.
That underwear was
Count 'em
completely
3 times.
Three
So it's
times.
all yes,
Wow.
and thrown the underwear away.
I usually leave the underwear out there for the, you feed, and this is it's the circle
Wait, you
of
guys
life.
both are
That's
just
what-
leaving your underwear out when you.
Soil. I like it that there are 3.
That's got your
there
DNA
are
on
3
it.
pairs
Yeah.
of soiled Landers breeches in the hills of Altadena.
Absolutely, I'm giving back to the community.
He uses them as his trail markers
What's
now
your
when he's
plan?
out
Are you
there.
a-
He's like, oh, I'm 3 miles out.
I'll sprout into a really a little deformed boy one day, like a group.
Yeah, the
that looks like me.
The Parks and Rec people use them as landmarkers. They're like, hit
Yeah.
that soiled fruit of the looms. You've gone a little too far. Okay, so we've made it 31 minutes in, and Sam just took a totally unpeer pressured, lukewarm pocket shot of Fireball.
It's because I'm fully. I'm in the moment now.
I think I'll
Yeah.
join you. I think I'll join you.
Fuck
I'm also going to run to the restroom real quick.
Okay.
out of here.
Yeah. Sam, what? No, I'm okay. I can't do it again
Have fun.
No.
Be safe.
after last time.
Too much?
Yeah.
What happened?
Well, because we did them with Nick, and I hate Fireball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of the idea.
I love Fireball.
Really?
You're supposed to hate it.
Well, I mean, it's like obviously it's ridiculous, but it's undeniably delicious. It tastes like
It is.
a fire. What's the term? It tastes like a fireball.
Yeah.
It's like a big red.
But I hate
Big Red,
I
or
hate
like-
cinnamon though, so I don't.
Really?
Yeah, I don't enjoy
Well,
it.
there's no cinnamon in this. I have good news.
Yeah,
for you.
yeah, it's not real cinnamon, but
There
it's like
is zero cinnamon in
It's
this.
cinnamon whiskey, so it's flavored cinnamon. Like,
It
that's
is,
why I
yeah.
hate it.
I bartended, and there used to be a group of pretty pathetic alcoholics that used to come in. I did.
You just stared at Miles when you said that. Pretty pathetic.
I was.
Oh, okay.
Listen, I've been doing.
Sorry, I guess that was me doing that.
I know when to play to the camera. Okay. But they would all. It was hilarious. They were like these hardened, grizzled alcoholics. That I called them the Teamsters, and they would come in and just drink Fireball shots the whole time.
Ugh.
And like I'm talking 11 or 12 of them, and they call me what do they call me, Sammy Boy, and they love me. Yeah.
Sammy boy. I had a.
Maybe they like started drinking because they saw like all this like shitty underwear in the woods when they'd come over, and like I can't unsee that.
Yeah, this is
Like,
so bad.
yeah.
I had a friend who worked on unloading the cargo holds of like airplanes, like shipping planes.
Cool.
And there was a union of these guys that would do this. There was like a plane unloader union. And one of the benefits of being in the union was they provided you with a $20 DUI lawyer.
Cash
a-
only. Gets
Yeah.
a crisp $20 bill, and you're not going to jail.
He actually has a good bit about it where he goes like, you know, if I actually don't want to drink and drive, he's like, I have to leave my car at the bar, and he's like, it takes me $20 to Uber home, $20 to Uber back to my car in the morning. He's like, $20 DUI lawyer. He's like, for prices like this, I can't afford not to drink and drive.
Oh, that's really funny.
That was really funny.
That is such an awesome, like, it's such a nod to like these are the type of men that work this job. You're
Yeah.
all
Yeah,
dirtbags, and you're
Just getting ahead of it, right?
Yeah.
there.
yeah. Also, imagine being that guy. That's your career. You're a DUI lawyer who someone can get on retainer for $20.
Yeah. Well,
A
yeah,
retainer?
I feel
That's a
like that guy
monthly
Probably lives up
fee?
to it.
Yeah, it was like a union benefit for this union. My friend was.
That's amazing.
A $20 DUI lawyer. Yeah.
I'm
Wow.
paying I went to my first week of therapy last week, and it's like the same thing. I like haggled him down to $50 a session, and I pay him in cash.
Wow.
And I was like, I remember I said it. I was like, when I gave it to him, I was like, "Fuck, I'm seeing a prostitute right now." This is I was like, "Do you take cash?" He's like, "I love cash."
Sam just gets off work and he just pays when like ketchup stained $1 bills from
Yeah,
Doghouse.
exactly. Like it's all my tips was like there's so many. Yeah, there's some dollar coins in there.
My roommate's a therapist and he likes cash too because then you don't get taxed on it. Everybody wins. It's off the books.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how common that is in the therapy world, but they kind of when they can, they're like, "Fuck yeah."
I'm sure it's probably
You get
pretty
discount.
common, especially with so many people that like don't have insurance or it doesn't work for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there
You don't have
insurance?
to fill out all those forms.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. There is something that does feel just like weirdly scandalous about paying your therapist in cash.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
paying
Yeah.
anyone in cash. I feel weird now because I never have. I mean, I have it from like my serving job too, but like I rarely pay for things with cash. When I do, I feel weird.
It's exclusively for things that are illegal.
Yeah.
It seems.
I can feel that fireball working its way through my guts. It kind of warmed up my soul.
Oh, I feel amazing
I
right now.
still
Yeah.
feel better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you partake yet, Powers?
Oh, I'm good. I'm not gonna. Yeah.
Michael's not a shotsman.
No, you're not a shotsman?
I'm not. I could do Fireball, but I rode my bike here, and I don't want to.
Yeah.
Well, you know
Yeah.
what me and
Motorcycle.
Madison realized that we should do is because we had to move things. Sam had to like move his shift around. We're like, why do we shoot this thing at fucking noon? We could just do it
Yeah.
at 6:30, and then it wouldn't be
Yeah.
weird to drink, and it wouldn't ruin your whole day.
It
and-
is really weird that you encourage drinking so heavily on this noon podcast.
Yeah.
I was so excited to like make fun of you and be like, "That's ridiculous," and now I did just rip it at the Fireball. But that is real. You've offered me a White Claw surge at
Yeah.
noon.
Well, that's all we have left from the last show.
Yeah, that's all we
It
have.
kind of feels like you hate me.
I have no problem with it. Just for the record.
Yeah, Michael's just plowing through the trolley.
I wish I had like. I wish I could have afforded to Uber here or something, so I could have,
Yeah.
really partaken.
I
but-
honestly thought about that on the way
partook.
over. I'm like, I should Uber. I'm like, but that makes me feel shitty. They have to Uber to a podcast. I'm gonna drink that much.
Well, also
I,
the goal
I
is, I
love
think,
Uber. Sorry.
Oh, our last guest actually had to take a nap in his car after the
Yeah.
episode. I don't know if she mentioned
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
But I think like we want to start shooting at night because it's just a cooler vibe, and we want it to be an open-ended hang at the end?
Yeah.
Is there a caveat to that?
So I do think like whenever now we're just talking like podcast or whatever, but whatever. Whenever I listen to like the professional podcast, they always do it like here, like now at
Really?
this time of day.
Yeah, but that's because they're all booked on shows at
They have
night.
shit to do at night.
Yeah, well, they have lives.
Yeah.
But I
But
think
one
in
day we
general,
will. You know what I mean? One day we
Someday.
will.
I like the idea of it being. I feel like there's some about night where we're used to being more on at night.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I like it to feel kind of like a hang at the end, like hang out as long as you want.
Yeah.
You don't have to like.
Yeah, this
I
is
don't want
pretty
people-
early in the day for me.
Yeah, and I don't want people to feel like they're ruining their day by
Yeah.
getting plastered.
Oh, but what I was gonna say is that I love Ubering to things of a comedy nature because it makes me feel more successful than I am. You know, it makes me feel like I have a driver taking
you
me to
Uber today?
the. No, no.
Yeah,
I,
yours-
I say that's baller.
but one time I Ubered to a show. I Ubered to a show from work, and it was like a 30-minute ride in this thing, and like maybe I'm like in my notebook trying to get my set list figured out, and the guy asks me like what I'm doing, and I tell him, and then he goes, "Oh, you're a comic?" He's like, "I do stand up," and I was like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm actually the Comedy Store. I'm a paid regular there."
Really?
And that like totally took my innocence. Like I was just like, oh fuck.
I'm a paid regular at the hottest club on the planet.
And I am driving you to your gig. That is a bringer show at a Mexican restaurant.
Do you think you could? Is there a spot for me on the show? Do you think? Do you know the
He's
booker?
like, do you
love
think I
him.
can do
wanna
five?
I'm trying to work on some stuff right now. God, it
I'll
sucks.
take a little time off your Uber.
Yeah.
ride if you
Yeah.
do
Do you know who it was?
Yes.
Okay.
I won't say.
Okay.
I think that would be
Do we know who it
mean.
was?
Can we bleep it?
Yeah.
I don't think you guys would know him.
I think
Well,
we
bleep
will.
Yeah. His name is. I think is his name.
You're
He
right, don't know.
Loser.
he and one other guy I think were like maybe
Mark
like
that
the
one. We're
like
gonna have to bleep it.
like one of the last few people. I mean, that's probably not a big deal if you don't bleep it, but I just don't want to like despair. I don't know him
Yeah.
personally, you know.
Right.
What do you think about the? I wonder a lot about. It seems like there's a lot of comics who early on, like maybe a year or two into stand up, like I'm gonna start hanging out at the Comedy Store all the time and
Yeah.
trying to get in there.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that when you're newer to stand up is the best use of your time, or do you think we should just be
Brother.
bombing in the shadows for the first few years before we even think about trying to make a splash at the clubs?
That is the question, isn't it? You know what I mean? I don't fucking know. I do feel like it. You like. I know this. I hate it with my whole heart. Like
Yeah.
hanging out at the Comedy Store. I remember I told this story in our podcast one time. I was the bravest little boy of all time. I went there. Do you know what I mean? I I parked right in front where people could see me. And I was paying for I have like this big bucket of change in my so I could pay for it, and I dropped it all over the ground. So I had
every
on my
comic-
hands and knees like raking. Oh no, this is all I have in the world.
Oh man.
And by the way, Sam has a fire engine red 2001 Ford F-150 with Nashville license plate.
Can't miss it.
And it's a long bed. It's the most. It should never be in West Hollywood.
With a busted out window and one chrome side. That it's just awful. And I paid for 2 hours of parking. Walked in, bought a Diet Coke. Looked around. All I could find was John Luna, and I outlined John Luna's a fine dude, but I didn't not great port in a storm when it comes to socially. And I remember out loud, I went, John Luna, and I just chugged my Diet Coke and left. I just didn't know him well. That's all I know is John Luna. Wow. But I do think what sucks is some of the people I know that get shows there and do big stuff at the Comedy Store, the Improv. It's I just hang out there all the time.
Yeah.
And I have no interest in fucking doing that.
Yeah.
So the hope is we can have the hope is our podcast gets big, and then it's have a song because we're a big podcast. We're big deals.
I think that is sort of. I would argue that's the better route these days in a way.
Yeah.
Is
Is to
what?
find an audience first and then try to get into the places like that.
Oh.
Because when you think about it, LA gets the worst of it because in New York has the same level of comedy clubs in some respect, but they don't have everyone that has made it. Like they have some famous people, but the majority of famous people, once they get really big, come to
True.
Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Right.
And so you're competing for spots at the Improv and the Comedy Store with the biggest names in movies and TV and
Right.
and so it's the amount of stage time they have available for you is very little.
Right.
And so even what you're kind of competing for is these shitty like opening spots and stuff on like late night and whatever. And it's like, I think there's a lot to be said. Like Taylor Tomlinson didn't do that. Taylor Tomlinson got big on her own.
Church circuit.
And then,
Yeah.
and then once she was,
Yeah, go for it.
I think she got passed after she got her first Netflix special. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Wait, she
but-
got passed where?
At the Comedy Store.
Oh,
Wow.
right.
I could be wrong about that,
Yeah.
but I'm pretty sure it was after she had a special already. So it's like, you get to a certain
Yeah.
point and like they just are going to let you on.
It is what
Yeah.
I like about the improv is it seems like they actually have created a system where they want young comics to have a way to
Right.
come in, like the Tuesday mic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Workers there, they have the lab mic, and they want to like get you coming back. And there's
Yeah.
a way
Yeah.
more straightforward process to
Yeah.
like show up, make an impression. We'll give you cold opens. We'll
Yeah.
let you host.
And that,
we'll
I
give
think
you
that's the reason
feature
I've been going
spots.
every Tuesday because that makes sense. There's like
Yes.
Yeah.
There's like
It's
an
not
actual thing.
It's not just like come here and play the politics game. It's like
Yeah.
go up and do well. And we'll
Right.
blow up.
Right.
How did that go? Because I was there when you
Whatever.
booked you got the
Oh, the
cold
showcase
open.
thing?
How'd it go?
Yeah, I didn't get a cold open. I got a showcase.
You got a showcase?
Yeah,
At the
I
lab.
thought.
Nice.
No, no,
I would have never seen that ever again.
No, I think a cold open
cold
is
open's a
higher
higher.
up. Yeah,
Oh.
so
Yeah.
You should
I,
just get a lab.
You
You get a lab
Oh my
work
god!
feature.
I don't even
Yeah.
want one of those. You did do so good though. That was awesome.
thank you.
Also, this is a weird thing I wanted to compliment. Your look on stage was very cool.
Mine?
Yes, you were wearing like
Like
a
the
like a
outfit?
long coat
Uh-huh.
with a pink New York Yankees hat, like forwards.
Oh,
Oh, the LA, the tan one?
The LA hat. No,
Okay.
no, it was pink.
No, I don't have a pink hat.
I've seen you in a pink hat.
I don't have a pink
Honey,
hat.
it was pink.
It wasn't.
Honey, I feel like I've seen you in a
that
pink
day-
hat.
Picture was pink. That's
That,
why
that day I was wearing a tan LA baseball cap.
I guess I hated your outfit then. Never mind. I
Fuck your hat.
But
I don't think it was pink. I don't. I'm
I
trying to
swear
think.
I've seen you in a pink
I
hat.
don't
I'm like,
own a
it's kind
pink
of
hat.
boss move.
Oh,
You guys
thank
both
you.
just like filtered some misogyny onto her outfit. You're like, she's probably wearing
It's like it had to be pink.
Yeah, remember you were
She's
like,
a
There's
chick.
no way it was a mad. The tone of a cowhide.
I remember
There's
like
no way.
yesterday, you were in a string bikini with a pink hat. That's what you were doing.
You're wearing an apron.
You had a platter of sandwiches.
You were washing dishes.
You're wearing stilettos.
I remember it. Don't tell me what I don't. Yeah.
I'm sorry, so I was wearing a pink hat. You're right.
Yeah.
You did really well.
You had some tits and maybe a pink hat. I don't know.
Thank you.
It was like a boss move. It was
Thank
cool.
you. I'd actually just come from lunch with Justin Close that day.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was running late, so I was like, maybe I should just go home. But thank you for saying that, because
But
I
you
was
got
actually a little self-conscious about my outfit that day.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I love a lunch with Justin Close.
Yeah.
There's no more exquisite joy in LA.
Mm-hmm.
It is so sweet.
You know what I did one time? Fun. You know Bob's Big Boy, like the old
Yeah.
kind
Yes.
of diner in Toledo Lake. I met there for a writing session with him and Ray Lau, and
Uh-huh.
we're in one of those old like leather booths.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it just felt like kind of like being in like a Tarantino movie. It's like
Yeah.
it feels like you're in the 70s there.
Yeah.
And just three dudes with ratty notebooks like pitching jokes.
You're
to
all
each
just
other.
saying the N word a lot.
a
and-
lot of hard R's and like a really shitty tuna melt and some fries.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, how can we
Come on, baby.
like how can we work feet into this scene?
yeah. How can we get a starlet's toes in this screenplay?
Wait, so how did the showcase go?
It went pretty good. I mean, it wasn't like, I don't think it went as well as the Tuesday, but that was my second one that I've gotten, so I feel like I just need to keep getting in front of
Yeah.
the booker. And no, I just mean that like
well done.
nothing has happened beyond that. I think it's just, but I do agree that I like that it's a clear process of moving up the ladder. What?
I was just Sam's expression. I was trying to read it.
Brian stares daggers through me. It's something you do.
Yeah. I'm trying to read Sam a lot. He's got an interesting psychology. I'm like, what is this guy thinking right now?
Yeah. Well, so what made you get into stand up? Let's break into
Yeah,
that.
let's make Sam
terrifying
talk about
psychology.
something unironically.
Your turn,
Please.
buddy.
I'm just trying to get pussy out here. No, what from my childhood maybe. I have a big like a well in myself, a big God-shaped hole that I shove things into, trying to feel.
Is that what the opening that Michael got you for?
That's the God-shaped hole. Find the God-shaped hole of me. If you didn't do that, I wouldn't be doing stand-up.
We just come from a religious line of people, so yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Same.
I think I'm the first person in my family, by the way, who's bought one of those. So that's new ground.
Are you guys both from the same sect of Christianity?
No.
I know
No.
there's a lot of different.
He's the Nazarene, man. That's pretty wild.
Is that
Church
wild?
you're from Church of Christ.
Oh,
That's
that's
pretty wild.
That's what my mom was. Church of Christ,
Christ?
and she's from his neck of the woods too.
Yeah.
Makes sense in the South.
Church of Christ is really funny. I worked for a Church of Christ church. My senior year of college, they did a mission trip, and I went and filmed it for them. And it was just funny to me because the Church of Christ, they're the most distinct thing about them to me is that they sing a cappella All of their worship songs are a cappella.
Oh, weird.
You
And
gotta be able to sing.
yeah, and I asked them why, and they said it was because they believe in basically practicing the way the first generation of Christians practiced. And in the first, they had to worship in secret, I guess. And so they couldn't be too loud, and so they couldn't have instruments. And like that was sort of the justification
And
for
I
it.
love lore.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker
I
for
love
lore.
Lord too, but then they also had like a projector with the words and stuff. I'm like, I don't think the first Christians
Yeah.
had projectors and
They-
microphones.
And they probably weren't advertising either.
No.
They probably were also like Western European American white people.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
What's
Yeah.
your family like going back one generation in Tennessee? Are they pretty simple people? Like what kind of stock are you from?
Man, the bias in
'Cause
that
my-
question was just
Well,
like,
dude, hey, I'm not.
Jesus Christ.
Dude,
I'm
really
not-
in a bucket?
generation back. I'm actually a Kennedy. Which is kind of strange.
The least known Kennedy, but no, well, my mom's. I'm not looking
No, it's-
down
no,
on you.
it's-
My
it's
mom's
amazing.
dad was a tobacco farmer
Yeah, it's crap. My
with like an 8th grade education.
so
LaCroix.
like my grandfather was
Or a Truly.
like worked for
Oh,
the
sorry.
government.
Sorry, I just heard truly.
Try to talk about my
Regardless of
granddad
what
right
he said.
now, okay?
Sorry,
No,
sorry.
So my like worked for the government, and like when he died, the bank took his house, and he had to work at Radio Shack till he was 80. My grandfather worked at Radio Shack as an 80-year-old man.
Wow.
That's a funny
must have
job
been
for an old
useless.
guy.
Yeah. He would have been like the youngest thing in
Bunch
the
of things he
store.
knows nothing about. Yeah.
It doesn't even try to help people. Just,
He's like, Sam, what's an MP3?
yeah. Read the package. Like that's
He was just there for fun, and they paid him. And then on the other side, my grandfather is like a. I'm not going to tell you about the grandmothers, I guess. But my grandfather on the other side.
All
is
wearing
like,
pink hats.
She's a fucking She's just a girl with a pink hat. That's funny. No, but she also worked for the government. And then on the other side, my grandfather was like a revolutionary. That's what it. Like I remember my.
Really?
The one
Yeah.
at Radio Shack or the other one?
Yeah, this is the other one.
Okay.
Like I remember my dad. Like it was like take your dad to school day. It was like career day at work.
Yeah.
And they're like, "What do I tell people you do?" And he goes, "Tell them I'm an agent of change." He was just like there was like super poor. Like my dad grew up in like government housing half of his life and stuff. And because his dad was a former Episcopalian priest.
Yeah.
Then turned like he just did like public work, so he would just get like grants from the government to like build mosques and stuff.
Oh.
But they just like that would happen like once every 2 years. And so
To
there was-
build mosques?
he built the first mosque in Nashville. He was instrumental. In
Did he have to keep that in the... He wasn't talking about that at the diner, I imagine.
No,
He probably...
he with a pretty liberal crowd.
Really?
Yeah. He's a super weird guy. He can speak German. He's one of the most.
That wasn't a very good liberal credential.
dude, that's
to
so
mention.
fucked up if somebody can speak German.
He ran with a pretty
Big
liberal
red
crowd.
flag.
He spoke fluent German.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should hear this guy read Mein Kampf.
He
It's
spoke
beautiful.
the mother tongue at the meetings. Yeah.
really liberal group of guys called the Aryan Brotherhood.
Loved
I'm just trying to
Argentina.
imagine these
Yeah.
guys bantering in German on the construction site of a mosque. Just like, wow, in a Nashville accent. Like, is
I
there
mean,
a
the
more-
Nazis were socialist, right? That's sort
Yeah.
of progressive. And
Right.
no,
I gotta say, ever since Sam mentioned that I stare daggers through him, I became aware that I'd been doing that for most of this podcast.
okay.
Because I'm trying to look across this plane of 3 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it's hard.
He's here,
Yeah.
and I can keep you two in the thing.
Yeah.
And I realize
immediate.
when I'm spacing out, I'm just kind of like, I'm not even thinking about Sam at all, but I'm still looking deeply
Yeah.
into his
Yeah.
Nashville
It starts
eyes.
to feel funny when you have Brian Smythe staring at you soullessly. What am I doing wrong? Trying to tell you about my granddad. You fucking asked me. Okay.
You know, your eyes kind of need to find a resting place. They
Yeah.
just happen to be the center of Sam's eyes
Yeah.
for me for this first hour of this podcast.
So were you someone who liked to perform a lot when you were younger, and it was like, okay, I want to go into comedy?
Yeah, I love to perform, but I was way too afraid to. Dude, I felt very silly. Like no one in my family performed, like performed as in like performed like on stage. But it was always the funniest person was the most highly regarded. You know what I mean? Like if you're fun, that was like the most valuable currency in my family. So
Yeah.
definitely. And and I always just had like parents who was like, "What do I have to fucking do to make you all like? How is this like?" Like they always wanted me to do better. Do you know what I mean? And I was like, "Guys, I promise, I'm pretty average, smart guy. Like me having like a 3.2 in high school, that's tits. Do you know what I mean? Like that's so nice. Like that is exactly me." And so I always feel like I can do, but there's something I should be doing. And so this is like, and so I really should be a poor open micer in LA. I have to do that. Yeah,
Well, I mean,
because it's ambitious.
sorry.
yeah I guess.
I was just gonna say, do your parents
can
think
prove
you're
myself.
funny?
Yeah. Oh, my mom. No one showers me with praise like mommy. We've talked about this.
Wow.
We heard what she said about your penis, so that sounds accurate.
Nobody can
I
affirm
think
that.
most of my comedy surges come from getting basically zero validation from either my parents my whole life. Like we have a running joke with my friends where like, Miles, our lovely camera guy over here, me and him, spent something like a decade making these like really fucking elaborate comedy sketches that we would pour like a year into each one of just like every
That's way
spare
too much-
cent we had
way
and
too
money
much
and
time.
time. Way too much time.
Yeah.
And they'd be elaborate and full like stock footage, and the edits would have like 50 tracks on them. And I would like show my mom one of these things. Like I'd send it to her and be like, "Hey mom, look at this thing I spent an entire year of my life slaving and suffering over." And I remember I sent her like the most elaborate one we ever did. And it was a video about like a rancher who like jacks off his horses, but it's deeper than that. It's not deeper than that. But it's deeper than that. It was hard. It was hard to make. It was really hard. And
But it's art, guys. It's art. Okay.
dude, we had like a Steadicam guy and like a fucking like a condor and like
Put a
all these
steady
lights.
cam up on
Yeah.
the horse jerking off.
Like a union steady. We had a union Steadicam operator and a 5-ton grip truck and like 10 crew and like an actor we paid.
No, dude, I worked with the actor that he worked with.
Yeah, he was weird. But anyway, I sent my mom.
The guy that was in the horse jacking off video
I'll
was
tell you a
weird.
little about this guy in a sec.
My punchline was going to be
Yeah.
duh. Oh, what do you fucking know?
You mean this bestial rancher that you chose to star in your video was
that
weird?
corpse that was in the fucking
Yeah, you're
No,
gonna-
I sent my mom this video that we'd slaved over for like a year and spent an embarrassing amount of money on, and she responded and just said, "Yuck." That was her response. Yuck.
I mean, you do
Yuck.
gotta
Wow.
like know your audience. I
Yeah.
feel
Yeah,
like that's
I know. But
yeah.
basically, neither of them have ever we call it. I sent her another one I worked really hard on, and she went, "Yikes!" That was her
Wow.
response.
What
so
was that one about?
me and my roommate.
Getting black. What was
Yeah,
that one about?
that one was
Getting
me
black?
and a
Is that what
smoky.
you said?
That was me and a
Back blown out.
Getting blacked.
No, she actually probably would have a sentence to say about that, but
Yeah.
it was me and a.
I love this.
Wow, Bud, I didn't know
You're
you had
finally
no,
doing something worthwhile.
No, this is from my world. I love that side.
I didn't know you had no gag reflex, Brian. That's really cool. Yeah, it was me like in a smoky studio doing a spoken word poem as this character who's like a weird woke Brooklyn rapper. And it was about like Donald Trump in the 2020 election. And it was like really hard to do. But she said, "Yikes." Was her. So me and my roommate called my
really
mom's
cool.
responses to me bleeding over my art the yikes continuum.
Yeah.
Like where did her response land on the yikes continuum?
Yeah.
It's never. I'm like one day I'll make something that won't inspire more than a single
Yeah.
word.
Well, what if it's a single positive word?
Yeah.
Good.
But
yeah.
even that doesn't feel that feels even short of a pat on the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
Certainly.
you're not even putting it on the fridge. It's like
Yeah.
yikes.
You are such a tortured artist.
Yeah. So no validation.
Just
from parents. But
talking
I also-
about a comedy sketch and then very sincerely saying like, when I bleed over my art.
Dude, I have bled.
I bled over my art.
I've bled. Stand up, I don't consider bleeding so much. That's what I like about it. Stand up is like
Yeah.
I just write a dick joke. Maybe I spent like
You don't
an hour
consider
on it.
bombing like bleeding?
Not really. At first I did. It used to really feel like that.
Yeah.
But now it's more like I care way less about bombing. Like
Yeah.
it used to be existential to bomb.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I used to literally.
Me too.
I think this is a comic thing. I thought it was just me, but it's really funny to hear every other comic recognize this. Like when you bomb really bad, in the drive home, the silent drive. You can't even play music. You just roll the windows down and let the cold wind hit your face.
What's
Yeah.
going on in my head? It's like at the beginning of Saving Private Ryan, where Tom Hanks is like, and he's like shells.
Yeah.
That's what's happening. I'm guessing someone's just screaming like, "What do we do now?" I'm the dumbest guy. I moved to San Diego to do that. Oh my god!
That's what sucks if you have to drive further away. Like that's horrible.
You
Yeah.
have more time to contemplate.
But it sounds like with you, like maybe what you like about it is the juxtaposition of like if everything is so precious that you're working on of your own volition. Stand up, you really can't be as precious. You have to do it like kind of immediately, and you can write a joke that day. I like that about it too.
Me too.
Because it's like if it doesn't work, it's like all right, fuck it. Like you know, I'll move on to something else. I wasted at most an hour.
And you get that instant feedback.
Exactly.
Yes.
Of like even if you just like, have you ever written a script and then like ask somebody to read it and give you notes and then just waiting for them to get back to you is like torture.
And you're resistant to the feedback because you slaved over the thing so much.
Yeah.
Like I used to not really want feedback unless it was gushing like adulation, like give me that because I worked really hard on this.
That's
video
really
and
good
the
for
screenplay.
creativity, by the way. That's
exactly.
a really good really good impulse. You're gonna have good products.
It's gonna be adulation, but stand up is the total opposite. It's like,
Yeah.
get up there and try it tomorrow and see if it works.
Well, it's nice too. You're not contingent on like one person's reaction. It's like a group of people, and it's a
Exactly.
game of numbers, and it feels less personal towards you at that point.
Yeah.
Give me a
Willing to
mango
just, like,
one.
Which
like,
Can you truly?
yeah, mango. You said.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Oh, thank you.
hey, interrupt me again. I will walk out. I was absurd.
I knew this guy was a diva, but now he's really showing his true
You
colors.
have no idea.
Why did they interject that question for like 10 minutes?
I forgot what I was going to say.
I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, if you're willing to like completely give up your sense of like I don't know, just like your pride, stand-up's just about the easiest thing. If you're willing to bomb, it's like it's the easiest art form in the world.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think he's called an art form, but I do think it is.
I'm envious
I
of
think it
people
is.
that have like no shame at all and a bunch of nerve because I see a lot of people like that and they kind of go farther than they should be going.
Yeah.
It seems like the people that are more
talented
talented.
to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's. I hope too.
Well,
But a lot of people that are the most thoughtful and talented, I think, are more.
Absolutely.
I think there's bombing, and we're all gonna do that. But there's some people who it's like I've only seen them bomb, and they'll say things like when I had my first special, and it's like okay, like that's like, like in the middle of bombing, they'll say that, and I'm like, oh wow, okay.
Saving that for the special.
Yeah.
That's,
I know who you're referring to.
Do you?
Yeah, duh.
Okay.
You know a specific person?
I mean, I hope to make his list one day.
Oh, okay.
That's actually not who I remember. That's a great example.
I got
That is a good
honorable
example.
mention, which is the only thing sadder than being on the list.
Well, at one point, the honorable mention was just like copy and pasted like slotted signups.
Really?
Yeah, so I did make that.
Molotov.
No, I was just talking to Danny T about that the other day. I was talking to him about somebody specific who I won't name, but they. So like when I was like just
Way to use non-gendered pronoun there. That was good.
when I was just like dipping my toes into stand up in LA and sort of like going in and out of like I would try it for a bit and then I'd like stop and then I'd try it for a bit. There used to be a mic called Marty's. I don't know if you guys have heard of that place. It was sort of like Fourth Wall before Fourth Wall. Like it wasn't slotted, but it was a dedicated open mic. And it was a really weird place with this like old guy that would tell like really terrible rape jokes like
He was the host?
few
Or, like,
times.
the
He was the owner of the venue. He was Marty. His name was Marty. But so like they had like a main stage and like people would just hang out on the patio until it was their turn to go up. So you would just be performing like for Marty, like you know. And then they had
please.
and they had a second room that had no rules. Like it was just there was just a mic in there and like you could go use it. And I would like routinely like walk in there and just see a person alone in a room with no audience doing their set.
Oh.
Like it was just a like a total nut job place. But I would see this guy there and he sucked then. And I still see him like 5 years later at open mics and he hasn't gotten a lick better. Like, I mean, he hasn't improved at all.
What do those people get out of it?
That's what I was talking to Danny about.
I think it's maybe the community they get out of it.
Certainly.
Yeah.
This guy doesn't even have friends in the
Sometimes like, oh, this fucking
Maybe it's the identity they get from it. Of like, oh, they go home and tell their family, oh, I'm a comedian in LA. And their
Right.
family's like, oh, great. We live in Missouri, so that's impressive to us.
Right.
And maybe just like the community of like, he doesn't even know that no one likes him because like I have this thing that I do every night. And,
Right.
Yeah. And he comes in, you know, he goes up to Brian Smite and he's like, good set. He like gives him the knuckle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right, to be part of it.
It's a wild psychology though to get like no positive feedback and keep.
Well, maybe they hear like someone just casually like, good set, and like it was a good set.
I am envious.
They live off that for a decade.
I'm envious of those people that like bomb a lot, and then when they have a set and where they get like a couple chuckles, they just strut off stage.
Yes,
I'm like, I wish I had that. If I have one line that doesn't get a laugh, I feel
Oh,
like
God,
awful
yeah.
about myself.
Yeah, I can crush and one joke didn't work. I'm like, oh my fucking God.
Yeah, exactly.
Or like, have you ever had it where like there's just some girl, and it is a girl, frowning the whole time, and you're
Yeah.
murdering, but there's just some like lady who's just not fucking with you, and you're like,
Yeah.
I've let that complete. I've gone, what's going on to that girl before,
Yeah.
and it didn't like.
It doesn't bug me if I'm doing well.
Yeah, no, but it does bother me that for some reason there's always like one person in the front row that's just like the whole time. Just,
Yeah.
And then you'll
Yeah.
say it to them, and they'll be like, "Oh no, I think you're great." I
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh, you're so
Yeah.
funny." I'm like,
yeah. So
Well,
people,
like, yeah.
Yeah.
How do you
Yeah.
people just have like resting.
Tell
bitch
your
face, I think.
face.
I heard Bill Burr talk about that, and he said it used to bug him when there were like people in the crowd that were just like loudly not feeling him.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, yeah, but what I started to do is I just get up to the front of the stage and I just get my dick kind of close to their face, and I send my act out right over their head, and I crush, and it makes it more fun, and I like that.
Yeah, you just get
That's
like,
pretty
dunk
funny.
on 'em, like, yeah.
Yeah.
I do think it's like every comedian focuses in on that person that's not enjoying it.
Yeah.
And there's no need to. Like it's
Yeah,
totally stand up is so
Yeah.
subjective, and it's so like everybody like I've compared it recently to like because stand up's gotten so like widespread, it's so much bigger than it used to be.
Yeah.
The audience is so much bigger.
Right.
It's becoming more like books. Where like people have genres that they like, there's
Yeah.
people that read romance books, and there's people that read
Wright
like Matt Rife. Yeah, there's people that
picture
read
books.
Matt
We're
Rife books
novelists.
with
He's
a
actually
big
a
buff
novelist.
guy on the cover.
With the pop-ups.
Yeah. Racist picture books is what. No, but it's like that has given me a lot of comfort. Where I'm just like, I'm just not for that person. I'm not their genre
Yeah.
Okay.
of comedy.
What is
you
your
know?
genre? What would you describe? I hate when people ask me
Yeah,
that. by
I'm
the
not
way, 'cause
going to
I'm like,
answer
that's not
that
for me to
question.
say.
Like, go fuck yourself,
yeah.
dude. Why would you ask
That
me
is
that?
the least comic question ever.
Yeah.
I can't believe I asked.
Wait,
you
what's
that.
your question, though?
I
Is it like-
fucking hate when people.
what
ask
do you-
me.
how would you
They go,
describe-
what type
how
of
would you
comic-
describe your
Yeah,
act?
they go like, what kind of comic?
I
are
get
you?
that
Like,
every person that doesn't do comedy asks me
Ask
that, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I think you would just have to ask someone else.
Right. Yeah,
I
people-
beg of you to answer that. Can we all four?
yeah,
answer?
let's all do it for
Come
each
on,
other.
Mr. Come on. For.
I'd
Well,
rather
yeah.
you answer for me than me
That's
answer
what I
for
think
myself.
That's what I'm saying. We each tell because I don't.
Oh.
When
Yeah, 'cause I don't know either.
Don't people ask you that all the time?
Before
People
like,
that-
a lot of my stuff probably goes over y'all's head. So like whatever you're gonna say, you don't really have.
Yeah, yeah.
grasp.
It's really deep stuff about getting pegged. It's,
Yeah.
It's hard to understand.
Yeah, we
Okay,
can't.
that's just like the first year and a half. Okay,
Yeah.
talk about other stuff now.
Yeah, but people ask me that too if they aren't in comedy, and I'm always like, I don't know. I have no way of answering.
You know what's funny? Can I tell you something kind of dorky? When you were on their podcast,
Mm-hmm.
you ever hear yourself mentioned on someone else's podcast? You're like,
Hello?
oh my. You guys were talking about somehow the deli show got brought up that I did at that Jewish deli on Cinco de Mayo, and it's a podcast, so a lot of threads don't get chased down. Like doors get open, they don't get closed. But you were talking about like me on the show and how you were saying I kind of described it to you as being awkward as fuck. And then Sam was like, "Yeah, plus it's B Smite, so he's like." And then you got cut off by someone else, and it never. And I was like, "I gotta know how that sentence ended. What is your characterization?"
He's crushing. He's murdering at the highest level. No, I'm sure the joke I was trying to make is that like it was a 11 a.m. show at like a Jewish
9
show.
a.m.
9 a.m. show at this Jewish deli to like these old people, and I know you've definitely used the term like key bumps and jizz. Dude, I know like those two things perhaps came out of your mouth.
Yeah, perhaps. Yeah,
That's funny.
yeah.
That's the only reason we had you guys on. We could ask you that. So
Yeah. You know what's crazy, Mike? I've never seen you do stand up because I've never.
You've never seen me do stand up?
No.
really,
Yeah. Weird.
That's weird.
Yeah, because I
Really?
yeah.
Wow,
I never have.
he's good. He's very good.
Yeah, I believe it.
I'm all right.
You're
I
funny.
think I met you guys when we all did like a THC show, and then we all
Yes.
played pool after.
Yeah.
And that was the first time we met, and then I did your podcast after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's Sam's genre? I still think the best way that you've been described, this was on your pod, was you brought this up, but someone described Sam as a compulsive bean spiller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is, if you can capture Sam in a nutshell, that's so good.
I give that
It's
to you. You
it's
can
just kind of,
Yeah.
I think he's such an interesting blend of when I hear him, he has this kind of bearing of sort of like a jock, and he's from the South, but he's really neurotic and sensitive, and that mixed with being like a Southern jock is really funny to me.
Oh, thank you.
It's you just don't expect it, and then it's just
man, calling him a jock, you might as well just licked his balls. With his, I mean,
I
Jesus.
kind of meant it in a pejorative way too.
Yeah.
But Sam's
Jock
just
with a heart of gold.
jock with a heart.
You're like pretty well with a football.
Yeah. It's like no one that played sports with me called me a jock, but thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But yeah, it's very. I like comics that are willing to be the butt of the joke, and I think there's actually a lot of comics that aren't.
Yeah.
Even though you take it for granted, like every comic, but there's a lot of comics where I feel like their attitude is like, I'm the sexiest person in this room. I'm the
Biggest
funniest
pet
person
peeve
in the
in
room.
comedy.
I'm the coolest person in the room. I'm more educated than you. I'm cooler than you. I'm hipper than you. A lot of these new people that are coming up, that's what I'm getting. They feel like they're better than everyone in the room, and I fucking hate feeling it.
Yeah.
I don't even like when they share a success on stage. Yeah. Like it better
do
be
that.
followed by, and then I blew the money. You know what I mean? Like,
Right,
it better be like,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think I don't mind if someone talks highly of themselves if they're just gonna pull the rug out from it themselves.
Exactly.
That I like that.
I love
That's
that.
the point.
Yeah. But if it's anything like some people, I will do that where they'll just talk about like the success they have as if it's funny, and it's like I want to see you cry or something.
Right.
You know.
Well, comics that are just always, they're never the butt of the joke. They're
Not a single
always
joke.
making fun of other people, and
Yes.
usually their crowd work's kind of like bullyish.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like that feeling.
Yeah.
I think it's so. Yeah, you're really good at that. You're
Okay.
basically always the butt of the joke.
Thank you. I
I
loved
like
it,
that.
but now we gotta get off of it. But thank you so
Okay.
much. Thank you. Now I feel the pressure. I'm
Always the butt of the
saying
joke.
something very articulate and sweet about your comedy.
Yeah, I don't think it's.
I think
Don't force
I feel like
yourself
it's
to do
hard
it.
at this stage though. 'Cause-
do have to.
yeah, go ahead.
No,
Well, I was
go
gonna say I don't really even know because I feel like sometimes what maybe the angle that I'm using is changing. I don't think I have enough self awareness of like watching myself over time change. I don't even know how I would articulate myself and other people at this stage because I'm watching them develop too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like right now, I would describe my style as trying my absolute best.
Yeah.
Just really gung ho.
Right.
As
Yeah.
much as I can. Whatever
Yeah.
that is. Yeah.
Because I have no intention. Like, I don't ever write a joke. Like, that's a me joke. I'm just like, oh, thank God I thought of something this week.
Yeah.
I'm always impressed by what a joke machine you are, though, because your Instagram stories are just
Really?
like you reacting to everyday phenomena in
Yeah.
this like really witty way. Just like looking at a billboard or a fucking license plate or
No.
like some Frozen thing at Trader Joe's, and you always have this like perfect zingy one-liner about it. And I'm like, how is your brain just like?
No,
I'm never inspired out in the world like
I just
that.
have such FOMO that I hope if I put something out, people are like, there's a party tonight. Are you going to come? So I'm like, oh, yeah.
You're just reminding people you exist.
Yeah, exactly. I'm here.
That is all Instagram stories.
Yeah.
Like, please. The
Yeah.
girl I'm trying to talk to.
Yes,
is
yeah.
like this. Please.
Yeah, I need someone to react to it. Or,
Madison Bakich is in the world
Yeah.
and she's doing nothing but Trader Joe's right now. So
I am posting tonight. The circle's wide open.
right.
Send the bad signal out. Dude, she
Yeah.
the other night posted
this
a thing
frozen
of,
food can stay frozen if something better comes up. Yeah.
Canned goods only. I get tonight.
I'll put it away. I'll
I'm
hang
already
out.
in
I'm
my
open.
car. Look. Just tell me where you are.
I have the fridge space. It's fine. If you don't, I'll throw it out.
I'm at the Trader Joe's on Vine. I'm at the cool one. I'm ready to hang. I'm in Central Hollywood. She posted one the other night that was like her making a dad joke about like a frozen entree at a Trader Joe's, and it was at like 8:58 p.m. right before they closed. There's like one other person in there.
It was like
And
a
on
Friday night.
Saturday
Oh,
or
Saturday
Friday
night. That's
And
even
I was like,
worse.
this is. I don't know if she realizes how sad this is, but it's really funny.
That was a cry for help.
Yeah.
Just begging for a hand.
Yeah.
It's like, does anyone even have a bringer I could come support?
Fucking what is going on?
Yeah.
That also, like, now I know that Brian's like the worst possible audience for any Instagram story because he's putting way too much context. Like he's just tearing it apart.
I'm thinking about it. Yeah.
Wait, when did you
Trader
post
Joe's
this?
at 8:59?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking loser.
What are you doing with your life?
I have something positive to say about your stand-up. I'd like to hear it. I don't have like a full statement of it. Do you know what I mean? Like because I can't believe you had like a full critique. That was thank you. But you a word I would use is you're poetic. In a way that's very easy.
Oh,
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Actually,
Otherwise known as gay. But like it's kind of, oh my god, this is insane. It's kind of beautiful. Like, you know what I mean? Like you string together phrases in a way where I'm like, Of the way a poet would.
Yes. You know what? When I first met you, I remember thinking to myself, like
Smutty poetry.
yeah, I feel like Brian is like if like Charles Bukowski like got more into cum jokes than poetry.
You know what's funny? You
That's
know when
funny.
someone gives you a compliment that's also basically an insult?
Yeah, I wasn't the cum thing. I wasn't
No, that wasn't no. But
poetry. You're a poet.
I've had several people tell me the same version of like, oh wow, like you have kind of a vocabulary, and you're like, it's just surprising to hear it come out of your mouth.
It's not your mouth, it's the subject matter. It's not your mouth.
Yeah, I think
But it's
that's
the-
it.
It is, yeah.
It's also your
No, it
dirty-
is.
Yeah.
No, but that is part of the. That's
Yeah.
part of what makes you funny.
Yeah,
The same
yeah.
thing about me is that I'm like
Right.
a sensitive sweetie who's like a total kind of douchebag. You know what I mean?
Like you looking like this and saying earlier that you bleed for your art. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
not funny if it comes from like a little Silver Lake guy that's you know what
Right.
I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I get that.
it's
think
funny
I-
because you look like a construction worker. Like
Who failed the drug test today?
yeah. Like
Yeah.
I failed that one day drug test.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
like I think the juxtaposition of that is interesting because you're right. It is interesting phrases like strung together, but the subject matter will be like jerking off a goat, like you've talked about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
I'd love to bring that back.
That was a
one's
great
not,
bet.
That's not for every room, but it's.
What the jerking off a goat one?
I remember you were at Glendale one time when I first tried it.
I've definitely heard it before.
Yeah. Well, just I had.
Palms. Was that?
Yeah. I had a friend who adopted a bunch of goats that were homeless.
I think all goats are homeless technically. I don't think they're goat
They tend to live in
homeowners.
shacks and barns and fields. But these goats,
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know, they had
I've never met a goat that wasn't dependent on the mercy of others.
No, these goats had a really nice.
Independent goats.
These goats had a really nice 2-bedroom in Valley Village, but then the startup they were working at just couldn't.
Yeah.
No, but he took them into his ranch, but they were like the goats he had are pygmy goats. They're like really tiny.
Uh-huh.
And the goats he adopted were like these big, beefy mountain breed.
Studs.
And they were called Hannibal and Sage. They had these really cool names.
Sick.
Big, sick horns.
Yeah.
And he was like, I can't bring these goats onto my ranch. I have to get them neutered first. Because if they have sex with the pygmy goats, the babies are going to be so big, it'll destroy the birth canals and kill the pygmy goats that I have. They're
Oh my
female.
God.
So he had to neuter.
They're all wearing pink hats. These
Yeah,
goats.
all had pink Yankees hats on. So he had to neuter. He had to get the goats neutered before he could adopt them. But like the problem was that after you neuter an animal, maybe this is just specific to goats. There's still jizz, like leftover residual jizz in their like vas deferens.
Yes.
And you have to get it out because
Like
they
you're
could still
siphoning gas.
Yeah, so you could still
the
technically neuter the goats, bring them on, and they could still have
Yeah.
enough jizz left over that they could impregnate them.
That
So you
sounds
have
like
to
a
jack-
lie that a goat invented.
to get jacked out.
Get jerked off.
I'm sorry. It may take years. Okay.
I think there's still a little in there.
And if I'm shooting blanks, then it's,
I only need to come 37 more times in March. Hang out. But he sent me a photo of them, and he at first asked me to come visit him and help him. He was like, "Could you help me? Would you be willing to jack my goats off?"
He asked
3 or
you
4
to do that?
Yes, this is my friend, and he was doing it kind of ironically, but I was like, why don't you jack him off?" And this is his literal comeback. This is what's nice about this bit is
Comeback.
I didn't have to invent any of this.
Yeah.
This all really happened. He's like, I could do that, but he's like, but I have to live with these goats, and I don't really want them to see me that way. That's what he
I
said.
can do that, but I know a little slut who'd love to do it.
Yeah. And so when I said I wouldn't do it, he was like, "Would you be willing to write the copy for a Craigslist ad so that I can get a local Mendocino County resident to do it?" And I was like, that actually sounds like the funnest writing assignment fucking
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
And I never got around to writing it. But instead of writing,
For a silky-handed stud.
well, the funny thing was instead
I'm also a
of
lazy ass copywriter, just in case anybody was wondering.
the funny thing was instead of helping him out and writing the copy for it,
Yeah.
I just wrote a stand-up bit about it.
I'm not gonna help you, but
Yeah.
This is good for me. Good for me.
And it
Yeah.
actually worked really good. So I was
Yeah.
like, thanks for the bit. Sorry I couldn't
Yeah.
do what you wanted.
Yeah. I remember.
That's so funny.
No, go ahead.
Do you have a goat fucking joke you'd like to tell?
No, I was just saying, I remember hearing that bit and thinking it was hilarious.
Yeah, that's fair. I used to have a joke that like it don't remember it used to work, but I loved it. Where it was like, do you think there's any animals that if they heard that bestiality was like frowned upon, they'd be like, no, wait, what? No, please. You know what I mean? Like there's some like farmer
Yeah.
out there who's just got a harem of goats that whenever he walks in, their knees are knocking, like, please let it be my night. And he just his way around a goat pussy. It just like brings the thunder every. I told that recently, like as a riff. You know what I mean? That like
Fake riff.
yeah, it's a fake riff. and it bombed. And I was like, damn, I love that joke.
Yeah.
You had such a good riff one time. I don't know if you ever tried this again. I'm maybe gonna butcher the premise, but there was a bunch of black comics in this room at Flappers, which was weird because there's very few black people usually at Flappers.
If there's a bunch of black people there, I'm going to comment on it in a riff almost every single time.
Yeah, but there was someone talking about how they were sick of white people trying too hard to like acknowledge Black History Month or something, and it was getting awkward.
Yeah.
We're trying so hard because we have less days that month.
Yeah. But Sam went up and his comment was basically like talking about like, yeah, you know, you guys are talking about how it'd be nice if we would ignore Black History Month. And Sam was basically like, I already kind of been doing that. And he went on this rant about like, I can ignore as much black suffering as you want. I have an endless capacity for that.
Like my ancestry, like a lot of people would really, where I come from, would really love that joke.
He was saying,
Do you guys enjoy riffing? Do you feel like you get a lot of material from that, or do you just go on stage? Like, I'm going to do mostly material and maybe a little bit of riffing.
If I can't, here's what sucks is if I can get a good riff, generally that's the most electric part of mine. So,
Yeah.
Same.
And like that, if I have a great set, it almost always starts with like a. If I don't walk into the stage with something to say, I really hate that feeling.
It's almost like people want you to show, okay, I'm present, and then here's my prepared stuff.
That's that's like my biggest theory of stand up. If
Yeah.
I have like one thing that I'm like, I think that is like a truism of it is like, if you can do something that is unique to that show.
Yes.
By riffing, then people feel like they just had an experience that isn't that was very unique. Like it, you know, like it just feels like you saw something special.
Right.
Yeah.
And then like they'll kind of follow you into whatever you want to do.
It's almost like paying a tax for each performance of like, okay, I'm presenting, you know, I'm present in the moment. I'm
Fucking
connecting.
sucks when you can't come up with something
God.
though.
Just going up on
The
there's
pressure.
nothing that terrifies me more than just going up on stage and just doing material right away.
I was at Walmart. Like that's just such a weird.
Especially if I'm doing a bar show, I know I'm going to do mostly crowd work and riffing and all that. But if it's like a theater or something, like a small theater, like, you know, I know I can do material and maybe riff a little at the beginning. But bar show, that's like it's mostly just talking to them.
Yes.
It's basically just having a conversation while holding a microphone. It's basically this, but people are more drunk.
And I think that's what if you get a riff, it kind of fools the crowd into being like, it seems like you're. It seems like your bits are coming off the top of your head. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, yeah.
It's like I've told this the 70th time.
That's what's hard is covering up the seams because I fell into this like pattern where I would come up and riff off the other comics and what's happening, and that would go really well. But then once I would go into material, the audience could like immediately tell. Like the light would leave my eyes a little bit, and my cadence would change.
Yeah,
and it's
you
like,
have to bring the spark.
Rehearsed.
You gotta,
and then like my set would just start here and then just go. Like the more material I would do, and I'm like, how do I make it all feel as electric as when I'm excited to say something new?
Right. Yeah.
And I think we've all seen you struggle with that.
Yeah.
But,
I have.
Should we do the riffing the bowl? Our segment?
Yeah, let's do it. Can I piss first?
Yeah.
Can I piss too?
Yeah, I do. I need to. As well.
Oh my god. Okay.
We need a good Andy
group
Gump
pee
here.
break.
Pee break. So, what are we gonna rip the bowl? Okay, we have a segment called "What the Cat Dragged In."
No,
but
what
it's
Winnie
dragged in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Should we do the pot again? Because we didn't get it last time. Or do you want to just move on?
No, let's do the new thing you brought.
Okay.
Miles, are you able to capture this from there? Yeah. Okay. All right. This is what Winnie dragged in, everybody.
Oh god.
Oh. Okay.
Is that
helium?
It's helium.
It's helium.
Rock and roll. Bring it over here right now.
Yes.
Oh, I was hoping it was nitrous, and we're gonna
Oh, and you've got like little balloons, so we can each have our little bag of helium.
I thought it was a
Where did you get
propane
this?
tank, and we
She
were going to
thought
I
grill.
could do this for hours.
No way.
I think this is so funny.
Are you? But now you guys have to be like Larry King and ask us the
Like
most serious questions.
yes.
That you can.
Yes, I love that.
I thought it was a propane tank. I was like, all right, thanks.
That's what I thought too.
Thanks, Winnie.
Yeah.
Real winner there.
All right. I think Sam is a perfect first guinea pig for this. All right, Sam, you're gonna rip that, and then we'll ask you a question.
Well, we
Probably
probably
ask the
have
question
it too.
first.
Oh, you want me to also have it?
Yeah, I think we should also have it. Yeah.
That's what I was kind of thinking.
Let's get on the same level together.
And then we can always do more.
Guys, I will say for comedic effect.
I think it'd be funnier if I
Yes.
agree actually.
Yeah.
I think
And
we
then
should
if
ask
that-
him a
I
question.
think it should be a very earnest answer and a very earnest question.
I feel like the question should be asked in a normal voice though, and then
Yeah.
you're on helium.
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah, I'm glad we
So,
punched that.
I don't know.
out.
Do you have anything in mind, Madison? I had maybe a thought.
Yeah.
Here, I got one.
Well, should
All
we wait until
Sam,
we
go
all-
ahead and hit that, and then I'll ask you a question.
Get a big one.
Okay, go ahead. Sam, tell me about a time you felt lonely.
Christ, every day of my life. It seems at times loneliness is an inevitability of life.
Okay, well now you're just trying to. You have to answer sincerely.
It's a daily demon that I have to destroy every day. Loneliness. Truly. In my early 20s, I dropped out of the University of Tennessee and then proceeded to quit like 10 jobs in a year. And developed a taste for prostitutes.
I'm so lightheaded.
For the helium to run out, then
That's just Sam.
and developed a taste for prostitutes.
Gonna need some more honey roasteds after that, baby. Like I Sam immediately shoveled honey jalapeno peanuts into his mouth to cool down from that experience. All right.
Oh my god.
When do you want to ask the next one? We'll have guest Mike. All right. Oh, good catch,
Yeah,
bud.
that was a good catch.
Thanks, Wayne.
Winnie's got a question.
Oh, you got one?
No, I
Or
figured
do you have one for Mike? Winnie? Or Madison? Do you have a
I'm the other girl.
Yeah, Madison. Sorry.
Do you have one, or do you have a question?
No, I don't
for
have.
me? I have a decent one.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Michael, tell me what love means to you.
That's a good one.
Love means to me.
Fuck.
Not a helium. Oh man, that's a hard one.
I don't have a good
One time, I asked Michael this because one time he said something so genuine and sweet. He goes, "You know what love is? Love is a verb. It's not a noun.
Oh,
And you do it every day."
that's poetic.
I said that on the podcast and I felt so dumb.
That's someone who's in a long-term relationship, I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No,
It's
you.
a fucking slog. Is what it is.
Yeah.
Every day I choose to not murder somebody.
Yeah. You heard of CrossFit? It's like that, but worse.
Don't even get jacked.
It's CrossFit for your emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably my answer.
Did you want to take another whack at that, or was that pretty?
I don't think I'm gonna find a good answer, honestly. Yeah.
Do you want to ask me something?
Yeah, absolutely. Madison, you
I mean, did you have one already? That you okay?
Before you wait, make sure we got something.
Yeah. What's a good question?
Let me know when you got it, and then I'll inhale.
Do you want to have children? And give me an earnest answer as to why.
That's a good answer or question.
Mm-hmm.
I think I do sometime in the future, but every time I have unprotected sex with a woman, I feel pretty unsure about it.
That's great. What do you think about like the bringing is there guilt bringing a child into this world?
Yeah.
I think I want to give him all the experiences I didn't have. And, it feels like a daunting task. But I think I'm up to it. I just feel...
You're still halfway.
Like it's weird coming down.
Yeah.
And then and it kind of gets you high a little bit.
Completely.
Yeah.
I'm totally lightheaded.
A little bit.
Can't wait to ride that
What
dragon
kills
again. Let's get Madison. I want to go back.
There was something a little dark about the way Sam latched onto that balloon. I was like, I feel like he's doing this in other areas of his life. But
It's really fun to sing on. Like you say.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
We should.
do it for like the riff, like for like when we're doing the riff bowl.
Oh, that could be
Oh, yeah.
fun.
Is a riff
We gotta get
bowl?
one. We gotta. Madison's gotta get it. You gotta have
Oh
it.
yeah.
You got a pink balloon.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
perfect.
To match my hat. Thank you.
That frighten you?
Anybody got a?
You have a question, even though I had
Madison?
no questions.
No,
I
you're
think
good.
I got an idea.
Okay.
Go.
All right,
Shoot.
go ahead. Madison, tell us.
Why are you so stupid?
Answer that.
Tell
Into
us
the mic real quick, Winnie, so they get that.
Okay. Why are you so stupid?
Tell us the most surprising thing about growing up in Florida.
Growing up in Florida, can you hear it? Does it sound different?
Kinda, like do a little voice, and it helps.
Inhale.
And come on, Madison.
Don't be scared. It's like
Have you never done this before?
I've never done this before.
But it's fun.
That rest of it. God, it's like teaching someone how to smoke a bomb.
I know.
Well, the weirdest thing about growing up in wait, what was the question?
There's another balloon.
Yeah, I need another balloon.
Another balloon.
Yeah, we
The
do need
question
another.
was,
What was it
The
like
most-
growing up in
I think it
Florida?
was like the most surprising thing about growing up in Florida. Like, what would people? How was your experience different than what people think it would be?
I
There's
have an
gotta be a
annoying
s-
question that you could kind of like.
I was gonna say, how many people use flip flops formally? I think might be
Oh,
that's the answer to that one.
I wish I heard that on Helium.
Oh, I'm sorry.
How many people you've what?
How-
Use flip flops formally.
like,
Really?
I got one for you. I got one for you. And do that whole
Oh.
thing. Do the whole thing. Let it go. Let it go. Tell us about being a woman in comedy. What's it like being a woman in comedy?
I think for the most part, I think it's mostly fine. It's just occasionally you get like some guys who will like bring it up. Wow, you do get kind of high from this.
you get some guys that will like make it seem like it's a handicap for you, or be like, "Oh, I can't say this because there's a girl in the room," and it's like I've heard everything. I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And how do you feel when Sam says that?
I think it's a valid question. I mean, I wore a pink hat to a mic, so I'm obviously asking for it.
it.
Do you feel like people are like babying you in a way, or like patronizing you, or more like they're just writing you off? Like,
No, I think most people aren't. It's like you just have the occasional guy who will be like, who will treat you like you're like the little lady or something, and that annoys me. But that's the same.
Great critique.
But that's with everything. It's with business, with just existing. But I'm sure it's a little more in comedy. But I think most guys are not like that. I think most people are not like that.
do you think I've heard other like comics talk about? Do you find you're more self conscious in a room full of women than a room full of men? Jesus. Yeah, Sam, have you heard of Do Not Disturb? Jesus Christ.
No, I mean, when it's room full of with more women than men, I'm like, oh, this is exciting because it's rare. But I was wondering, Winnie, what do you to answer that question as well?
On being in a room full of women.
Or just like
Speaking of back then.
Yeah, this isn't the best setup.
Speak.
Winnie, turn around and answer the question.
Men are talking. Do not look at
You face the wall when you talk to me.
And this is her like fully sincerely having a conversation faced away.
Boss, can you
like an
capture
acting
Winnie at all?
exercise.
Oh, you got your phone.
This is like a manipulation technique or something. I feel like
she's in Guantanamo.
All right, now turn back around. Turn back around.
goddamn wall and you answer this question now.
Winnie, don't look at me. But what do you feel like being a woman in comedy?
trauma exercise.
Yeah.
Let's get the best audio possible.
Get out of here.
When I do encounter a room full of women, or just like in general.
Well, see, that's about like being a woman in comedy. Like Sam would ask me, and then
Oh yeah. It's fine. I mean, they make me do this at every mic. They make me face away.
Don't look at me.
Chelsea Peretti has a funny answer. She's like, it's like I'm doing comedy, but the whole time I have a vagina.
Oh, like that.
I don't know. Have you guys gotten like the creepy guys asking to write with you?
Oh, man.
I haven't meaning to ask you.
I've watched guys do that. Like, as
Yeah.
a third party, I've seen guys try that. It's so true.
But I've had guys ask me that I genuinely would want to write with. I don't think of it as a pickup line sometimes.
There's a difference between. Fuck's sake. There's a difference between when they're like being creepy about it and when they're like, "Hey, do you want to fucking write sometime?" Like it's different.
Yeah, I think there is
You
a
just have to add
difference.
fucking in the.
The thing is,
yeah,
I've never asked.
question.
I've never asked someone that I don't already know really well.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say
I wouldn't
because
just
I've
go up to
seen
a guy
somebody
at a
do
mic.
it to a woman that he like just introduced himself to after
Yeah.
a mic, and I'm like, well, I mean, that's so obviously clear what you're doing
Like you
there,
haven't even
buddy.
performed
Like,
yet in front of them. Like, you want to write sometime?
yeah.
I did
But-
good vibe. That's right.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to do the riff bowl?
Yeah.
Can we do one more balloon real quick? I just want to ask Sam a quick thing.
Oh God,
This is simple. I'm actually just genuinely curious and it occurred to me. So
I like that she doesn't want to waste any.
I like how you said this wasn't new. So you just have this?
It's a fucking hit at Mike's.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I hosted Mike with Thumper.
Oh,
We
okay.
brought this last time.
That's
and,
dope.
Yeah, I mean, I brought it to the fourth wall once, and like Joe and Dayton immediately discovered how fun it is to like call someone a slur with like a helium voice.
Oh boy.
Let's try that, Sam. Let's get some slurs out of you.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and hit that. I was just wondering this, and I thought you might as well answer it on helium. Tell us about your decision to abstain from Trulies on this podcast. To just not drink. You've been kind of a good boy.
I'm trying this thing on new called self-respect, and it requires me to not make foolish decisions for the approval of others. I've also lost 20 pounds, and I'm so afraid of being fat again. I have to stay cute. I simply must stay cute. Because it's really been working out for me lately. My self-confidence is up, and
his sexual encounters are up.
Oh.
I've had sex with 2 girls in the past 5 months. Pretty cool.
Wow.
No, but
That's a 200% increase from previous months.
That's exciting.
Nice.
What alley did you guys meet in?
So, yeah, there's a spot on Melrose.
It was a bowling alley.
my aunt has some really hot friends.
They have a team.
Serviced.
Yeah. They have a team called the Spinsters.
Yeah, like these fingers can go in a different hole, you know.
One for the pig, one for the snake, one for the bowling ball.
Sam comes back next week with a broken thumb.
You're not trying to finger a woman bowl.
You don't get any strikes.
Okay, should we do the bowl?
Yeah.
I want more
All right, so
balloon stuff.
That's a good that would be a very funny thing for like a very serious bowler to say in a conversation. You know, bunch of guys having locker room talk, and one of them's like, "Hey, one in the pink, two in the stink," or one in other way around, and he's just like, "I'm all 3 in the bowling ball." I don't mess around like that.
Yeah.
Not before a big bowl. What do they call
big bowl.
Tournament?
Bowling match.
Does bowling have bowls?
No,
like
they have
football?
tournaments.
They have the
Bowl.
FedEx bowl.
Who's going first?
Oh, we're gonna riff with the helium.
I think
Oh wow.
you get 1 balloon for 2 minutes, so you don't
Ooh.
get
All right.
time.
I like
Whoa! Can somebody explain the?
Okay, so the bowl each get 2 minutes. They're gonna ding the bell. They're gonna throw you topics. You just riff on them as long as you want. You can stay on one topic for 2 minutes. Probably wouldn't recommend that, but you just ding. Each person gets 2, and we'll ring the bell when it starts. Are you gonna ring the bell?
We should build up to making someone do a hit of a crack pipe and then riff the ball.
Wait, what?
What'd you say? Hit a crack pipe? Hit a crack pipe, then play the game.
That would be
it started
really
with helium. Now they do meth on the show. Have you seen that?
good TV. I'm not
Read
gonna
one
lie.
thing, he sits here and just like raps to himself.
Yeah.
The room is just like a dirty mattress. There's no couch anymore.
Madison or Beast Mike the first round, so they kind of know what
Yeah.
they're looking at. Okay.
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah, let's see some
wanna
master
go, Master?
riffing, guys.
Yeah, I can go first.
Okay.
I just want to suck that balloon again.
Oh God, we've made an addict.
Oh, thank you.
I've never felt more pushy and weird than when I was cramming that. I guess I know you need more. Okay.
All right, go ahead and ding it.
Okay, fuck.
Are we starting?
Dating a werewolf.
I think the hair would be too much. I can barely date an Armenian man, but and I feel like I'd be like, please shave some of this, and then I would feel like I'm changing him, and then he would break up with me for being too pushy.
The weather girl.
It's always someone hot, and it's always someone, yeah, insanely hot. You know, it's all, I always watch it, and I'm like, I'm not even listening to the weather. You know, I'm just like thinking about. I think that'd be a fun job. Like that's kind of like my fantasy job, to be like a weather person. You just do the weather, and then you go home, and you're like, wow, this is my whole day. It's just doing the weather. You know. Yeah, not a comedian. just pre-plan the weather.
There's none of that pressure to get laughs.
Yeah.
Well, because when I was growing up, the big person in town was the guy who did the hurricane reports. Like he was famous to all of us, and
Yeah.
it was kind of like with politics. He didn't work most of the year, and during hurricane season, he was on TV all the time. He's always like, take his jacket off and roll his sleeves up, and he goes, "It's gonna be a big one," and we're like, "We know." All right.
Oompa Loompas.
Oompa Loompas. I feel like I'm surprised they made what's his name?
Hugh Grant.
Play all the Oompa Loompas in the new movie.
Every one of them?
Yeah, all of them. So many takes. You know, I feel like I'm surprised no one has protested that. I feel like that would be something that would be a discussion, and
They're
it's
taking
not.
it from little people.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
something like
I
that.
guess
Like a straight man playing a gay man.
Yeah, exactly.
Oompa Loompas don't exist, and people would be like, little people would be like, I'm not an Oompa Loompa.
Yeah, exactly. I don't wear overalls all the time.
I don't have orange skin.
You had a strange deformed orange character, and you didn't let me play him. Yeah.
Winnie didn't like that.
It's always some.
Suck it straight from the source over there. I
Yeah.
did that at Bonner one time. We sat around and did that. Not nitrous.
Oh.
Sucked it. Cried laughing.
Yeah, it's fun. I wish it lasted longer. I feel like that's
I
what
know.
cocaine must be like. So I do it. I'm like, God, I want more. This is sad.
Yeah.
All right, are you ready? I have a good one off the top.
All right.
Yeah, sure.
Go ahead.
Doesn't work. Anyway, secondhand breast implants.
I don't know what that means.
Used like they've been in someone else's tits.
Oh, they do that?
It's like a lovely service, I would say. I think that's a very economical and good thing to do. I wouldn't feel any kind of way about them already being a woman before that. In fact, I might get some kind of fetishy satisfaction from it. You know what I mean? Like, this has been in some slut. Sorry, how slutty was the whore who wore these before me? Yeah, that would be nice.
Fist fighting an ostrich.
They don't have hands. That's nice to me. It'd be easier to get through their guard. I am afraid of ostriches. I don't like big foreign. Birds can scare me. The older I get, the more respect and fear I have for the wildlife. Truly. And next,
Fire ants.
fire ants. That's something, that's one of those things where it was a big deal when you were a kid. Do you know what I mean? Like, fire ants were a big topic of
Yeah.
discussion.
Like
as-
quicksand.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, fire ants were like a bit like, dude, I stepped on a and that's not true. No one ever stepped on it and got their whole like dick bitten off. Although I do feel like insects biting me was at all times from ages like 6 to 10, my penis was inflamed with chigger bites. Do you know what I mean? At all times.
Really?
Oh, at all times, and I'd put Neosporin on them.
I
I
gotta
remember
say-
distinctly seeing my like non-dropped testicles with just chigger bites on them.
It's funny to cut that one out.
I never knew what those things were until I went to Ohio. I'd never heard that word.
What word?
Chigger.
Chigger. It's
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's tough to say.
Okay.
It sounds
Not
like
that
a.
tough to
it
say. You
sounds like.
just have to make sure you enunciate.
It sounds like a hybrid slur.
Yeah, it does.
you know?
Yeah.
It's pretty easy to put the dots together.
Yeah.
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 I was like, I'm kind of scared at how easy that was.
Immediately.
No.
I'll log that.
That's
I'll log that for my
Very
biracial
legitimate.
neighbors.
All right. Is this power?
Um,
Go ahead. It's very sanitary. Don't worry.
I don't know if I would have done
I
this
only-
podcast
I only-
if I knew I did.
I only touched the mouthpiece with my peanut dusted fingers. So
Okay. Let me read. Okay. Ready? Erections that last longer than 4 hours.
I mean, would my erection last a long time? I'm a happy camper. I don't know.
I feel like. Oh man.
I feel like if somebody shows up to the hospital with a 4-hour erection, as a doctor, I'd just be like, I mean, are you here to brag? What are you doing? You don't have to come here and ruin my night. It's already a long shift. Next.
The one-child policy.
Oh man, they should probably bring that back, right? I mean, it's getting out of control. No, I don't know what country you're talking about. I don't. The only person I know that applies to, I don't like.
I know who that is.
Holy shit!
Next.
That was
Telling your girlfriend you're balding.
How are you gonna do that?
I don't know, man. Am I balding? Sorry to just reject the premise of the question, but do you notice a little thinning right in here?
Yeah, I think both.
Yeah, fuck. I guess I'll have to cross that bridge soon. I don't. And my girlfriend has mentioned many times that she does not want me to.
Well, then don't.
I'm like, I'm trying so hard. Just stay in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we should make it 2 minutes. I don't know. I go back.
Was that a minute or 2 minutes?
It's 1:30 right now.
Oh, 1:30.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. I thought we'd already gone to 2.
You want to do 2?
No, I'll do it.
Plenty.
I wouldn't want to do 2 and then be bombing a minute in and be like, I got 30 more seconds.
This is getting dangerous.
Yeah. We're
Yeah.
gonna drive home, like crash into a
losers.
wall.
Yeah, you could have an aneurysm.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to take a helium nap.
Yeah.
All right. Got a good one for you, Alfred.
Cleanse the palate.
I got a lot of nut dust in my mouth, so I'm a little ashy here.
And also, you're eating all those peanuts too.
Old man busting dry nuts in my mouth.
How do you think we bought all this equipment?
That's out here got money.
What's the shaft over?
Yeah.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Heckling Al Qaeda.
Heckling Al Qaeda? I don't think that'd be that hard to do. I think you could probably just start trying to suck them off, and they wouldn't like that.
Interesting.
Speaking of which,
It takes homophobia to not want you to suck my dick.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, you could go the old route and throw like heads of cabbage at them, but I think they'd probably just value the food because they live in. I mean, you know, they don't live in. They don't have a lot of food security out there in Fallujah, from what I understand. All right, next. This is getting bad.
Hickeys.
Yeah, I've been dealing a lot of those out lately, and
Really?
I usually feel bad because my girlfriend has like a pretty nice corporate professional job. She's like an engineer.
Really?
And going to work with hickeys on your neck basically just makes it seem like, yeah, I just got fucked by an 8th grader last night. So it's a weird thing to have to. Yeah, she did have to wear a turtleneck the other day, or like a scarf.
But she had to wear it.
Yeah, like something to hide it, like a high neck.
She-
Giving the hickeys.
I'm
Oh.
giving the hickeys.
Oh.
I said I've been dealing a lot of them out lately.
Oh, I thought you said I've been dealing with them a lot.
Yeah, no.
lately.
I might, you know what? It's kind of sad how
Dude,
proud I
stop
might be
doing
of a hickey. If I had a hickey, I'd probably be kind of proud of it.
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of
I feel like Sam finds that relatable too. I think-
Yeah.
I
yeah,
want everyone to know if that's actually.
yeah. It is such an undeniable mark. There's only one thing it can mean. Okay. Oh, was that it? Shit, dude. I don't get
Is
to
that a
it.
bit that make it look like you went to work?
No, no.
That's pretty.
That's
Should
pretty
that
good,
be a
yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah,
That's all right. Would it be weird if I just recreationally finished this balloon?
No,
No,
not at all.
I would
do the same
too.
if I was in your shoes.
Yeah.
Wait, we can just finish off the tank.
I do have.
We should.
How much is in there?
It says it has enough for 30. Probably very close. Yeah, how are you?
Fuck, I have to leave in
30
10 minutes.
balloons.
But you guys don't have to rush out of here. I can just give you a key because
Okay.
I don't want you to like be in a hurry.
Okay.
But I do have to host a mic at 4.
Understood.
That seems like something you can miss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to work at 5.
yeah.
Oh. How far is your work from here?
Oh, man. Yeah. I was like, man.
We really are an hour or 3 right now. aren't
Listening
we?
to this part of the podcast. Is,
Well, I just,
Tell me about your commute. Yeah.
I was just trying to figure out where it was because I don't know where you work.
Old Town Pennsylvania.
and how
Oh,
do you
God.
get there, Sam? Take us on a turn by
What's that
turn.
like? What freeways do you take?
Y'all should come hang out with me tonight at work. I'm being serious.
Okay.
Yeah?
Well, now that I know where it
Sam hooks
is,
it up.
I will. Well,
It's
you
my
know.
buddy Joey. It's gonna be me and Joey. Just
Okay.
The dudes in there.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
It's fun
I
time.
switched.
Okay.
It's good.
It's normally Piper. I shut up, Piper.
Are you coming to the
So
mic?
much on podcast.
Yeah, she gets a lot of time.
I don't know how I'm going to feel about hosting today. I don't have anything prepared. But then again,
Oh.
I kind of never do. Go ahead,
Well, I don't think you ever have anything prepared, so
Yeah.
what fucking difference does it make?
Mary. Ouch. Hey, you face the wall when you're talking shit to me. Winnie.
Yeah. We didn't get any of that recorded, but it was good.
I better not be seeing any of the front of your head.
That got real for a second. That felt like she's been producing this podcast for a year and a half.
Yeah.
They make me
keep
face
her in the
the wall.
We keep her in the
They don't let me
shed
look at them when I say mean things.
like a Harry Potter elf. Yeah.
You get a pick.
Call
You
you
either,
Dobby.
Yeah.
I don't know who Dobby is.
Dobby.
Oh, okay. I'm Dobby now.
He's a pretty central character. No, he's not. But
I had a
you should know.
dream the other
Oh,
day. I
okay.
wrote
No,
this
of
down in
course
my
not.
notes. Wrote this down in my notes.
Okay.
I had a dream I beat the living god out of Dobby. Like beat the like I'm talking and I didn't want to. Like it was an ultimate betrayal that I had to do for some reason. And I was going,
You probably made an unbreakable oath.
something
Unbreakable
like
vow.
that. Like hold up, I have it written down. Sorry.
You wrote it down when you woke up? Cause
Yeah,
it was
just because of how like it was. Had a dream that I had to beat a Dobby the elf figure to death. I had to betray him. He said, "You're my friend," and I said, "You're not my friend. You're my companion." And then I smashed his head on the ground.
so I couldn't ask you where you went to work. You're telling us about your dreams.
Yeah, I love that you.
We got 2 minutes left. Let's get in some Freudian psychology real quick.
We have 2 minutes left.
Tell us about your sexual.
2 minute warning.
I gotta leave in like.
Oh yeah, we still talk about the Tom and Jerry thing.
No, that was weird. That wasn't necessarily my sexual awakening. That was just my intro into BDSM.
Sexually, I was already wide awake.
Sexually, it was like probably one of my sluttier cousins.
No. We saw on that, dude. I'm absolutely wiped from this. I'm not kidding. That's the most.
Like your brain's not working right?
No, like I feel like.